series against the Yankees. And after missing 55 games due to a hip and quad problem, Yoenis Cespedes is back with the Mets. He's in the lineup tonight. He'll be DHing and batting second.
Well, that's his spot, and it's welcomed by the New York Mets. He's missed an awful lot of time, 55 games, and you can see since the Mets acquired Cespedes, you're going back to August 1st, 2015. Look at the difference in the win-loss when he's in and when he's out. So he is dearly missed in this lineup. He's the big bat in this lineup. Of course he's missed. Everybody else did not have had subpar years so far this season, and without Cespedes in the lineup, it was really magnified.
Well, the Yankees have the second best record in the American League, second best record in the major leagues coming out of the All-Star break, but they sit second in their division, 4.5 behind the Red Sox, and the Mets are in a position to do them some major damage.
Well, they do. There's some real angst if you're a Yankee fan. 29 games over 500 and sitting in second place. And what trouble can the Mets provide? Well, I think in every game of this series, they have the best pitching matchup. Syndergaard tonight is their best chance, I think, going against Domingo Germán.
And for Syndergaard, who went just 5 innings, his first start back from the disabled list, leash will be off tonight.
He was the best I've seen him all season long. His mechanics were sharp. He's letting the ball go easy. He's going to have to do a little better job against this team of the first guy on was on every inning through 5.
So Syndergaard getting set to face the Yankees at Yankee Stadium for the first time as he goes up against the Bronx Bombers and Domingo Germán for the Yankees. It's the Mets and the Yankees from the Bronx. All the action coming your way on SNY. Garner's Thor bobblehead on Saturday night, August 4th, to the first 25,000 fans in attendance, courtesy of Citi. Last year's Thor bobblehead was named the #1 promotion in baseball by MLB and the #1 bobblehead in Mets history by SNY.TV. Don't miss out on this season's most exclusive item. Go to Mets.com/tickets to purchase your seats today. Play your favorite games at Resorts World Catskills to enter the Imagine a Million giveaway. Win luxury prizes all summer with one player taking home $1 million guaranteed. Here's the Rocket Mortgage breakdown on the MLB home run leaders. The Yankees with 161 on pace for an all-time record. The record is 264 by the 1997 Seattle Mariners, and the Yankees are on a pace to shatter that. Calling all beer lovers, the New York Beer Fest is coming to Citi Field tomorrow. Party throughout the ballpark with unlimited tastings of 200 beers from over 70 breweries, along with music, games, and more. Grab your tickets now at nybeerfest.com. This is an event you will not want to miss. You won't want to miss this either. The two rookie managers getting together at home plate for a convo. Mets and Yankees. First pitch is coming right up. (161st Street and River Avenue). Coombs Dam Bridge, subway tracks out beyond right field, excuse me. It's all there. Yankee Stadium.
The #1 address on Gary's GPS. He can go right to it.
It is today, Keith. Here's your Geico Mets starting lineup. And with Cespedes back in there, it certainly lengthens the Mets lineup. Jose Bautista at third base. Wilmer Flores plays first base. Dominic Smith sent back to Las Vegas with Cespedes being activated. Matt Dendecker in the lineup to give the Mets some better defense in center field.
Well, the Toyota numbers for Domingo Germán, you can see it. They have not been great. His only 2 wins came in back-to-back starts in the middle of June, but in early June, he faced the Mets and struck out 9. 55 of his 92 strikeouts have come on curveballs.
And the Yankee defensive infield. Gary Sanchez is back off the DL. He missed quite some time. Greg Bird just can't stay on the field. It is the left-hand bat they really need. Plus, he's got a pretty fair glove over at first base. And in their outfield, well, Brett Gardner, I love, a former Gold Glover. He's the top of the order. He sets the tone. Stanton, we know, has a terrific arm out and right.
Aaron Judge not in the outfield tonight. He is DHing for the Yankees. Gorgeous evening for baseball. Temperature in the mid-70s. Nice little breeze blowing. Low humidity. Just a perfect summer night for these teams to get together. Yankees took 2 out of 3 in the first series at Citi Field, with Seth Lugo locking down the finale for the Mets. And now the Mets start their series in the Bronx with Brandon Nimmo to lead things off. Nimmo struggled right before the All-Star break. Hit just 156 over his last 19 games. Domingo Germán's first pitch is in for a strike, and we're underway. Nimmo starts the night with a .373 on base percentage for the year. Third baseman Andujar in at the cutout against the possibility of a bunt, and Brandon takes a fastball high, 1-1.
Now Brandon ended the first half, well, slightly over first half. You see the defense right there with the 90 strikeouts, and that came quick the last month of the first half. He started striking out a lot. He's got to learn to lay off that high fastball right at the letters or just above. He's been kind of chasing a little bit upstairs.
He had 60 strikeouts in a 40-game stretch, the most strikeouts in a 40-game stretch in Mets history. Yoenis Cespedes on deck. 2-1 from Germán is up and away, and he's behind 3-1. Germán did not walk a batter against the Mets first time around. Struck out 9 in 6 innings, as Ronnie mentioned, and no decision for him. He gave up 3 runs in 6 innings. This is just his 13th big league start. And the fastball is high for ball 4, and Nimmo's on with a leadoff walk. And now Cespedes. There is probably a smaller percentage of Mets fans at this game than at any Subway Series game that I can ever remember. Just a smattering of reaction for Cespedes as he comes to the plate.
Well, maybe they're in camouflage instead of orange and blue.
And they're not making much sound either, Keith. Cespedes missed 55 games. He last played on the 13th of May. 3 rehab starts. 1 in left field, 1 at first base, and pronounced himself good to go to DH tonight. And Mickey Callaway said he might even play in the outfield sometime this weekend. Of course, he'll need to when the Mets get home on Monday. Back to National League Baseball. And the curveball skips into Sanchez, 1-1. Sanchez back from the DL, missed the last 20 games with a groin injury.
Germán, 31 walks in under 80 innings. Sanchez hasn't done a lot this year off, I wouldn't say his average, but he's done a lot of damage with 14 home runs and over 30 RBI.
Two and 1 to Cespedes with Cabrera on deck.
Well, this is the pitch that was in the dirt that Sanchez blocked. Watch his throwing hand. Gets it behind the glove, I guess, to protect. You don't want, you know, the old days when we were growing up, all the old catchers, Ronnie, that were our friends of our parents.
Yeah.
They had broken fingers, broken knuckles, the old catchers.
The only issue there is that he's got to get his body in front and turn the glove around.
Precisely.
Just backhanded that.
Johnny Bench was the first catcher to put his hand behind his back, and that changed a lot of things for a lot of catchers. His exposed hand, obviously, his throwing hand.
I think that was part of it, and also the equipment improved. It became easier to catch one-handed. Cespedes hits one in the air to left field. Gardner started back, now coming in. He's there, and Cespedes retired for the first out of the night.
Contact off the end of the bat, a little out in front.
So Cespedes retired in his first at bat back from the disabled list, and now here's Cabrera hitting third in the order. As Struble hit a home run against Germán the first time these two teams hooked up this year. I mentioned Germán making just his 13th big league start. Time is running short for him to prove himself. Pulled foul. This is a Yankee team that has very high aspirations, and they really only have 2 starting pitchers who have distinguished themselves this year. Of course, Luis Severino, but also CC Sabathia. Neither one of them will pitch in this series, and it's a chance for the other 3 guys to stake their claim, because the Yankees very clearly are going to be in the market for a starting pitcher as we get close to the trading deadline.
Well, Sonny Gray has been the big disappointment, and Sabathia has been a big surprise.
Yeah, if Sonny Gray had not been a disappointment, that got him last season, they wouldn't be shopping as much.
And while Herman's had a couple of good starts, certainly hasn't proven that he can be a reliable starting pitcher.
And I don't think this is going to happen, but the person they covet wears a Mets uniform.
Well, there are a few teams that might covet the top of the Mets rotation, but whether they are able to spring for what the Mets would be looking for in a potential deal is an entirely different subject.
That's right.
And I think it's, you know, it would behoove the Mets to listen on anybody if they're offered enough, whether that be DeGrom or anybody on down. And tied to Cabrera 1 and 2. That doesn't mean they should be looking to trade any of them, but if anybody wants to offer them better than fair value, why not listen?
If a team is going to, for Jacob, for example, is going to trade and change your entire organization the way it is right now, you have to listen.
Nimmo's 7 steals and 11 tries this year. Wilmer Flores waiting on deck. One-two coming, and his dribble hits the curveball down the right field line. That's a fair ball going into the corner. Nimmo on his way to third. Stanton digs it out. Nimmo being waved home, and the ball comes in short hop to Walker as the cutoff man. Nimmo scores without a throw on the double by Cabrera, and the Mets jump out to an early 1-0 lead. Not often you can score from first on a ball into that short right field corner, but Nimmo did.
Breaking ball on the outer half. He picked it up almost off the ground. It had too much plate, and good hitting by Cabrera, who has been really just consistent all season. And this is what you love when you have speed at the top. You get a double, that run scores. You don't need 2 or 3 hits to get that run in.
Flores takes a strike. Wilmer hitting .314 in the month of July. Cabrera at second with 1 out, a run home, and Wilmer pops one up. Should be playable for Bird. A step into foul territory to put it away for the 2nd out.
Well, you were mentioning, Gary, before that Cabrera hit a home run against Herman at Citi Field. That was on a breaking ball, so Herman didn't learn his lesson. I think the reason that Nimmo scored is that ball was hit off the end of the bat. It took a while, really, to get all the way down to that .314 mark.
The other thing about that play in the corner is that we've seen Stanton make some great throws. He short-armed that ball into the relay.
I thought he took a long time to get rid of it, too.
So here's Conforto. He was 3 for 24 heading into the All-Star break. Hoping to get things turned around after a 4-day respite, and he goes after a first pitch breaking ball, 0-1. Michael down to .216 for the year. He has drawn 53 walks, which is in the top 10 in the National League, so his on-base percentage has remained respectable, but his power numbers down, his average way down. Cabrera at second with 2 out.
Last year, Michael's numbers were a .279 average, .939 OPS. This year, .216 OPS of .710. It's quite a drop.
I think you'd have to say, based on what we've seen now over the course of 3.5 years, Michael's been a real puzzlement. He came up and dominated in 15, struggled horribly for most of 16, had a great 17, and now he's right back to where he was 2 years ago, or at least his numbers are. One-two coming. Pulled, past Bird and down the line. That's a fair ball off the jutting stands. Cabrera will come in to score. Conforto heads for second. He's in sliding with an RBI double, and the Mets have an early 2-0 lead.
Well, good start for Michael there. Listen, when you have 4 days off and you've had a bad first half, even if you had a good first half, you kind of get the little bit of the rhythm. You lose it, the rhythm of the season. You want to get off quick. That first game coming out of the break, so that's a good sign right there.
So RBI doubles for Cabrera and Conforto, and the Mets have the early edge. Now Jose Bautista hitting 6th in the order and playing third base tonight.
I think this says the most about the Yankees starting pitching, that coming out of the break with a team that's 29 games over 500 are pitching a guy who has an ERA in the 5s, coming off a start, his last start against the Indians, where he gave up 6 runs in 4 innings.
Well, I don't know why they wanted to throw. They wanted to go upstairs with a fastball, see if he chases, and look where he puts it. Down and in into a left-hander's happy area.
And that kind of fastball command issue is really part of what's holding Germán back at this point in his career. 0-2 to Bautista, and he rockets one to left center field. Back in the gap goes Hicks, and it's beyond him, bouncing up against the wall. A third run scoring double in the inning as Bautista clocks one with 2 strikes to drive in Conforto, and it's 3-0 Mets. All 3 of these RBI doubles coming with 2 strikes.
Well, that gets the fans here.
Gets their ire up.
Yep. And that was a serious hanging slider right there. This is lucky he wasn't rubbing up a new one right here.
You know, Keith, I hear from managers and coaches all the time that they have no problem with the hit given up on 0-2, 1-2. That's what you saw right there from Conforto. Count was 1-2 to Conforto. He didn't go upstairs enough with the fastball. That was 0-2 on Bautista, and he hangs a breaking ball. It does matter. It doesn't matter how many times I hear. It does matter.
Well, the Mets matching their season high for runs scored in the first inning. They did it just the other day against the Nationals. And now they staked Syndergaard to an early lead for a second straight start.
Well, you can see with Germán that he has a great arm and he's got a good slider, but it's just like so many pitchers we've seen come down the pike. You don't have the command, you're going to get hit in this level.
Devin Mesoraco hitting 7th in the order and a first pitch curveball, 0-1.
The only way that you can get by with having lack of command is if you are a young pitcher who is a little scary inside. Every once in a while, conveniently wild and put you on your fanny, then sometimes you can get away with it.
As Rocco pops one up, Bird waiting for it, and that retires the side, but a leadoff walk and 3 run scoring doubles puts Syndergaard out in front early. 3-0 Mets. For the Yankees, Aaron Judge DHing tonight. Gary Sanchez back after 3 weeks on the disabled list. Greg Bird, who just started coming around before the All-Star break. The Yankees third in the American League in runs scored and leading the world in home runs.
Well, you see the Lander over numbers for Noah Syndergaard. 74th start. It's only his second against the Yankees and first here at Yankee Stadium.
Brett Gardner leads off for the Yankees, and a first pitch fastball in for a strike. Gardner having his typical year, 345 on base percentage, now 34 years old. Yankees have an option on him for next year, and I think it's about $12 million, and they're seriously considering picking it up.
Why not?
Doesn't happen for too many 34 or 35-year-old players these days.
You know, we talk all the time, guys, that are not able to live up to their contract. They have one here for the Yankees, yes. Jacoby Ellsbury. But we're talking about if this contract has been so perfect, Gardner's lived up to every nickel of it.
He sets the tone for them. He's a hard-nosed, old-school player. I've always loved him.
Noah ahead of him 0-2, and he makes him move his feet with the slider. 1-2. There you see his career numbers, and last year hit 21 home runs, which was a career high. 9 home runs this year. A few just by accident in this ballpark. 1-2 coming, and he got him. Syndergaard strikes out the first man to face him. 1 out and nobody on.
All that stuff in, and then he goes away.
Noah struck out only 3 in 5 innings in his first start back from the DL. He needs 2 more strikeouts now to reach 500 for his career, and he's trying to become the fastest Met in terms of innings pitched ever to reach 500 strikeouts. Dwight Gooden has that record right now. Here's Aaron Judge, and he takes a knee-high fastball at 99 miles an hour.
So far, all 2 seams from Syndergaard. 2-seam fastballs.
Judge 25 home runs at the All-Star break, a little behind last year's Rookie of the Year pace of when he hit 52.
I'll take it.
He's about at the same pace of strikeouts, 132, which ties him for the most in the American League, but a little behind his walk pace from last year. Last year led the league in walks and strikeouts. Two balls and a strike with Didi Gregorius waiting on deck.
Easily the biggest strike zone in baseball. He is a giant.
Big man, big strike zone. Good slider by Syndergaard, 2-2.
Oh, not a good toss back to your starting pitcher from the Mesoraco.
There's his Rookie of the Year numbers last year. Judge finished second in the MVP balloting as well.
It's hard to throw one over the head of Syndergaard. For he's 6'7", 6'6". He's on top of the mound.
He was aiming high. 2-2. Pulled down to third. Bautista knocks it down. Has plenty of time.
Nice.
Throws him out. That's a classic play by a third baseman. Not playing it off to the side. Knock it down with your chest and throw him out.
There's no Olay in this. Look at that. Took it off the forearm. He had that ball covered and smothered. Beautiful.
Only the 4th game Bautista started at third base since joining the Mets. Also played there some with the Braves during that stint earlier this season. Here's Didi Gregorius, who's had a bit of a roller coaster season. Had the greatest April, a terrible May, and then leveled off in June and the first part of July to get where he is right now, which is very close to where he's supposed to be.
Still has 52 RBIs with that. That's very productive.
Last year drove in 87 runs, hit 25 home runs. So he's on a fairly similar pace.
Real good breaking ball hitter.
Back past the mound. Rosario off his glove. And Gregorius is safe. Rosario playing just to the left of the second base in the shift. Turned on the Jets and got there. He just couldn't pick it cleanly.
I could take a look. I think he stabbed at it, Garrick. He's there. He's going to make this play 99 out of 100 times. High hop. He just missed it.
They're scoring that a hit. I think I'd score that an error.
That's
a ball he's got to make the play on, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny how it works with errors, right? A shortstop without as much range maybe doesn't get to that ball, but once you get there, you're supposed to make the play, right?
I wonder if this day of shifts that official scorers see a ball hit up the middle, and that plays upon whether they call it a hit or not.
Interesting. Here's Giancarlo Stanton, who's never had a hit against Syndergaard, 0 for 11 in their meetings when Stanton was a Marlin.
Giancarlo still staying with that closed stance. Remember last season with the Marlins, around the middle of the year, he changed from an open to a closed stance, and boy, did he take off offensively. I like him with the closed stance. He's been under a lot of criticism here. Striking out a lot, he always does. You know, he's hitting 278. He's not like he's hitting 230.
He was struggling at home earlier this year, but the last month before the All-Star break, that changed around too. He's doing fine. Slider in for a strike, 1 and 2.
Well, Stanton is a guy that is feasting off left-handers and so against the righties.
59 home runs last year in his MVP season, 23 so far this year. I mean, the Yankees are on a pace to set a major league record for home runs of the season. And that's with Judge and Stanton both behind their pace from last year, and in Stanton's case, significantly behind. But we also know he's capable of hitting 10 home runs in 2 weeks and getting right back on that pace again. Line right center field. Dendecker won't get there. It's in for a base hit. Gregorius will go first to third. Stanton holds at first with a well struck single. And the Yankees have first and third with 2 out.
Well, Dendecker again out there in center field can go get them. That prevented that ball from going into the gap. If that ball gets into the gap, that's an automatic, that's a run scoring double.
You know what I love to see outfielders do is what Dendecker does here. He doesn't make a big throw, but he gets it in quickly, because what happens for the third base coach, once he sees the ball on the way in, he's going to automatically stop his runner. Good move.
So after the Mets put up a 3 spot in the top of the inning, the Yankees get 2 aboard with 2 out for Aaron Hicks. First pitch fastball in for a strike.
Alexis Met starting infield. Bautista at third base. Just made a nice play this inning. Out in the outfield, we're just talking about Dendecker. This is his 4th start in center field. Nimmo and Conforto have gone to the corner outfield positions.
Gentlemen, to your corners.
Come out with your hands up.
You know, we talked, Gary was mentioning about Stanton and Judge behind their numbers last year, but Hicks is well above his at 16, and Sanchez at 14, and Andujar at 12.
Hicks at 15 all of last year. Broken back. Flores has it. Race to the bag, and Wilmer gets there in plenty of time to end the inning. So Syndergaard strands a pair after being handed the lead. 3-0 Mets after 1. Ahmed Rosario leads off against Domingo Germán. Rosario went into the break hot. 346 over his last 8 games. We'll see if he can carry that over after the break. He was certainly chasing less the last couple of weeks, and he takes a fastball for a strike from Germán. Matt Dendecker hitting 9th in the order on deck, and then Brandon Nimmo. That's with 3 run-scoring doubles in the first inning. First time they had had 3 doubles in a first inning since last season.
Well, Rosario really finished strong and finished with a lot of energy. And it just looks to me like he just reverted back. He said, finally just said, I'm going to swing like I did in the minor leagues. He's letting it rip, and it's a little uncontrolled, but he's getting a little better with his knowledge of the strike zone.
To me, it was almost like when they took him out of the lineup for 3 days, he came back with that's not happening again kind of hustle, or it seemed like it.
I think you can see it in the field as much as anything. That time a wild swing and a curveball, and he strikes out. First of the night for Germán. You know what I mean? I mean,
yeah.
There's just a hop in his step that we hadn't seen
right
before.
It was noticeable.
Well, I think what happens for young players is if you're overcoached or you are put in a place where you are hearing a lot of different things, it takes your natural athleticism out of the way. And sometimes you just play with a little athleticism, some hop in your step, you can get some good results.
Here's Dendecker looking for his first big league hit of the season. He's gone 0 for 11 so far. If he can hit just a little bit, he'll get some playing time, because I think the Mets are desperate for his defense in center field.
Well, it seems to be a new strategy now, a new thought process, more emphasis on defense. I mean, the old adage, you can say anything you want. You got to be strong up the middle to win, and I still believe it's true. Whoa!
You know how all that plays itself out, you know, with Cespedes, and when Jay Bruce comes back, and you know whether there's enough room to put a defensive center fielder out there with all those outfielders they'll have. That's a whole different story. But for now, I think they'd like to have Dendecker in there if he can hit it all. It's a one hopper to Walker at second. And that's the second out. Time for the Built for Baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile. A couple of big trades made during the All-Star break, none bigger than Manny Machado going to the Dodgers for 5 prospects. Dodgers had a big need at shortstop for the remainder of the season, with Corey Seager out for the year, and it's a lot of players for a rental.
Because Machado, can he play third base?
He did play third base until this year, but he wants to play shortstop.
Well, you know what? You got Corey Seager. You got Seager out there who's will be back next year.
Well, but he's on an expiring contract, so he can choose where he wants to go next year, and if he wants to base it on who will play him at shortstop, that's his choice.
But he's with a team that
can win,
plays in the post, wins a lot of games.
Yes, sir. That's something to consider. You can always move Turner over to second base.
Well, who says he's going to stay with the Dodgers after this year?
It's right,
but it's a 2.5-month rental.
But you do say it's one of the teams that can afford him.
Right.
Okay.
And I think the Dodgers are going to wine and dine him.
To wine and dine him the best way with a World Series championship.
The Dodgers with a half-game edge, but the Rockies came on very strong right before the break to get within 2 games. Curveball drops in for a strike to Nimmo, 2-2. And the Giants are still in it as well.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting to see if they will make moves to try to improve. Good curveball by Germán to strike out Nimmo, so a better inning for Germán. 1-2-3 with a couple of strikeouts. Mets still up 3-0 in the second. MLB.TV is now available at a lower price for $82.99. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live or on demand. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV to take advantage of this special offer. Gary Sanchez first at bat, coming back from the disabled list. It's been a rough offensive year for Sanchez, hitting just .190, .291 on base percentage. 33 home runs, 90 RBIs last season. And a nasty slider by Syndergaard, 1-1.
That has morphed occasionally into almost like a cutter. So short and quick, darting.
Sanchez, then Greg Bird and Miguel Andujar. Slowly hit. Bautista has to charge, makes the bare hand play and throws him out with ease. Probably could have used the glove with Sanchez running, but a nice play by Bautista, second one he's made tonight.
Well, you know that Sanchez has got the groin issue just coming off the DL, but you don't know he's going to run like this. Like he's got a pile of bricks he's carrying on his back with him. I mean, he just wasn't moving at all down that line. Nice play.
Remember, this isn't a position that Bautista had played regularly for a decade before this season. Looks like he's been playing it all along. There's Greg Bird. As Keith mentioned, this is the left-handed bat the Yankees need, and he was just starting to get it going the last few weeks before the break.
Well, he had a terrific postseason, did he not?
3 home runs in the postseason last year. But he's missed large chunks of the last 2 years with ankle injuries. Most recently surgery this March, which cost him the first 2 months this year. Have a day, Matt Carpenter. 3 home runs, 2 doubles, all in the first 6 innings.
Crazy.
First time in Major League history a player's ever had 5 extra base hits in the first 6 innings of a game. Cubs wound up using 3 different position players on the mound.
16 total bases.
Cardinals on the road at Wrigley and trying to make a statement. New manager now. New second half.
Well, the Cubs had been red hot going into the break. They'd won 13 of 16, but that's a thumping today.
Well, and the Cards on Thursday night had a bad game. 3 errors. Did not play well coming out of the break.
So they were all angry that their break was shortened by a day. 2-2 coming, and Bird goes down swinging. 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Second strikeout for Syndergaard. 499 now for his career.
Well, the ball's coming out, the 2-seamer, that's supposed to be in. The same pitch that he was supposed to throw Gardner, which was supposed to be in, ends up on the outside corner, but so much movement, it eludes the bat of Bird.
So now Andujar, 41 extra base hits, most of any major league rookie.
That'd be nice to easily be able to throw 99
with movement,
free and easy.
And to have that little slider too, that hard slider, certainly doesn't hurt.
One from Syndergaard, and Andujar tops one. Another tough play for Bautista, and this time he has no play. An infield hit for Andujar.
You know, I don't know if Syndergaard's doing this on purpose, but I like his plan. First time through the order, really what you've seen is 2-seamers and sliders, not much of anything else, which means that you have extra pitches as you go through the lineup second and third time. Knock on wood for Syndergaard.
So now the former Met Neil Walker playing second base with Gleyber Torres out. Flores out with a hip injury. They hope to have him back before too terribly long. What a year he's had.
That's an interesting injury for a young player, a hip injury.
Walker hitting just 197 after playing for the Mets and Brewers last year. Syndergaard behind 2-0 and now 3-0. First changeup he's thrown.
You've got to be conscious of this short porch. 2-0 changeup to Walker there to try to fool him.
Brett Gardner on deck. Each of the first 2 innings, Syndergaard's retired the first 2 hitters. Gave up a couple of 2-out hits in the first. There's a strike, 3-1.
Nothing's changed. Neil Walker did not like to swing 3-0 as a Met. Still doesn't as a Yankee.
You think a guy would be more inclined to swing 3-0 in this ballpark?
With this pitcher.
Left-hand hitter. Absolutely.
And Walker lifts one to left. Easy for Conforto. And that retires the side. An infield hit and 1 left after 2. 3-0 Mets. Mets with a 3-0 lead. Yoenis Cespedes will come up for the second time. Cespedes flied out to left field in his first at bat after missing the last 55 games. And takes inside from Herman, ball 1. Cespedes, Cabrera, and Flores for the Mets in the third. And now 3-0. And Cespedes gets one high in the air toward the left field corner. Gardner over right at the pole. It goes foul. And he made the catch.
No, it's a home run.
Was it a home run?
Yes. That's what they're signaling with the umpire. We couldn't see from our angle.
And it is a home run for Cespedes in his second at bat back from the disabled list. A towering home run right into the corner near the pole. His 9th home run of the season. It puts the Mets up 4-0. Let's take a look. I couldn't tell from that, could you?
I mean, it looks foul from
that angle.
Well, nobody's objecting to the call. Let's look from here.
Oh, it hit off the foul pole.
Oh, hit the pole.
And that's why it went so far.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay. Well,
how about that?
The third base umpire, David Rackley, got the call right, and Cespedes, just like that, contributes. Cabrera pops one up, and Gregorius grabs it for the first down.
I should have said it, but I was going to say, usually Cespedes likes to swing 3-0, but how can you swing 3-0 against a guy who hasn't thrown within 3 feet of the plate? Well, I guess you can.
And when you haven't had a big league at bat in 2 months.
Yes, you can.
I guess he can. Second time in his career he's hit a home run on a 3-0 count. I think he didn't think he got it.
He didn't, yeah. It's 318 down that line.
He thought for sure that he had hit a routine fly ball. And what do you know?
Maybe the wind was blowing in Port St. Lucie.
You don't see too many cheap home runs to left field in this ballpark, but if you hit it right down the line like that, where it's only 318 feet, and he got it just high enough and just fair.
It's always, to me, been the definition of a power hitter. When they miss it, it can still go out of the ballpark. It's always been the case.
Well, just gives you an idea how dangerous he is.
Right.
Well, the big power, hardly any stride, so he's got good hip rotation. So many hitters today are so widespread, they lock their trunk, and it affects their rotation. Not Cespedes. He's got that power stroke.
Flores lays off, and it's 3-2. Wilmer fouled out his first time up.
You can see Herman is making so many fat pitches over them, splitting the plate down the middle with his fastball. Hasn't got the location.
Wilmer hits one into the shift. Nice easy hop for Gregorius. 2 out. So 2 out and nobody on after the Cespedes home run. Here's Conforto, who drove in a run with a 2-out double in the first. We were talking about the up and down nature of Conforto's career, his first 4 seasons.
He likes those odd numbers.
Well, 7 is an odd number, and this is July, which is the 7th month on the calendar.
I like that.
Gary, that's a very positive statement right there, Gary. I like that.
Well, he's 1 for 1 after the All-Star break. Maybe 1 for 2.
It's 500.
Gardner puts it away. That retires the side. Cespedes' home run makes it 4-0 Mets. DHing, so he stays in the dugout and gets to revel in this. Let's see. Ball, oh, there you go. That's a much better shot.
Yeah.
The ball hitting the pole. The doinks down the line count just as much as the 500-footer.
That's what Yogi said.
Yeah, but
can't
Yogi
statcast it though.
Didn't Yogi hit the ball that Sandy Amorós caught in that very corner in the old Yankee Stadium?
That's right. What a play by Amorós.
1955 World Series.
Only caught it because, you know, left-handed thrower, glove was on his right hand.
Second time around the batting order for Syndergaard, who struck out Brett Gardner his first time up. Fastball for a strike, 2-1. Aaron Judge on deck, and then Didi Gregorius.
Was it Yogi or DiMaggio? Because what did DiMaggio hit? I remember
that was the
first and second.
That was the Al Gianfrido catch in left center.
That's right. I was going to ask the same question.
No, what made the Sandy Amorós catch so difficult is because Yogi was a left-hand hitter.
Right.
The ball was slicing away from him the whole way toward the corner. And that was the Gianfrido catch. That was the Red Barber O Doctor.
Oh, love it.
How was that called, Gary? Fill me in on that one. Do you remember it?
I do. Little chopper. Syndergaard goes over his head. No chance to get Gardner. Well, he's 6'6". He needed to be about 6'7.5". And Gardner has the Yankees' third infield hit already in this game.
What do you call those, Keith? Baltimore chop?
That's not really a chop. It's a Baltimore chop usually goes through the infield.
Okay.
A high hopper.
Here's Aaron Judge, who had a shot down to Bautista, knocked it down and threw him out. And fastball inside. Syndergaard's only made a dozen starts, but he's given up 13 stolen bases in 15 tries, and only 2 pitchers in the league have allowed more.
Well, the Yankees don't steal a lot of bases. They got 41 steals this year. It's 11th in the American League.
Gardner's got 9 of them in 10 tries.
It was interesting when Judge came to the plate. There was a buzz that went through this stadium, even though they're down 4 runs, because they can hit you often. Real relentless kind of lineup.
Judge's chambers, duly equipped.
Only a few rows.
I don't think those gavels make a lot of noise.
Really hard pressed to see Gardner trying to steal a base with Judge at the plate.
It's a Yankee team that is not leads the American League, leads Major League Baseball in home runs. Kenny Singleton's in the booth next to us to our right, and he said this team, but they don't hit home runs, they usually don't win. He goes, but they usually hit home runs.
161 of them in 95 games. Syndergaard behind Judge, 2-0. And that's a rocket into left for a base hit. Gardner around second. He's going to try for third. No throw by Conforto. He'll throw to second to make sure Judge doesn't advance. And Bautista applauding Conforto for throwing to the proper base. That was nice to see. First and third and nobody out.
That's the second ball that Judge has hit hard on. Fastballs in from Syndergaard. Last time he about chewed up Bautista at third. And nicely done by Conforto here. No chance. Don't let the back runner advance. And this is what Gardner brings at the top of the order. Can still fly. And he sets up a big inning, first and third. I love that way that man plays the game.
Here's Didi Gregorius. He hit one off Rosario's glove for a base hit his first time, and it takes a strike. So 5 singles now against Syndergaard. In his deepest trouble of the night, he retired the first 2 in each of the first 2 innings. Now the first 2 get aboard. And he gets ahead on Gregorius 0-2. If you'll recall Noah's first start off the disabled list against the Nats, Washington got the leadoff man on against him all 5 innings he pitched, and he yielded only 1 run.
Yeah, I tried to say that in the open. I was unsuccessful. But yes, Gary, outstanding.
Up and in.
And he popped it up. And Wilmer waits for it. 1 out.
Well,
by the way, I have to work this in, even though it has nothing to do with this game. Did you see the stat on Joey Votto?
I did. Pop-ups?
8 years, the last 8 years, he has not hit a pop-up to the catcher or the first baseman or the pitcher. He's had 7 infield pop-ups in 8 years, and none to the first baseman, the pitcher, or the catcher.
that's pretty remarkable. That's remarkable. That's remarkable.
I mean, just think in the course of things once in a while.
I remember Wade Boggs had not stats like that, but pretty good, where he wouldn't pop up many times in a season, but not Joey Votto's stats.
That is incredible.
Now Stanton, who had a base hit to right center his first time up.
Oh, missed it.
Sky to right center. This will stay in the ballpark. Tagging at third is Gardner. Dendecker makes the catch. Run comes home. Judge holds at first, and the Yankees are on the board. A sacrifice fly for Stanton cuts the Met lead to 4-1. '56th RBI for Stanton. And an inning where if Syndergaard can emerge with only 1 run scoring, he'll feel pretty good about it.
Tell you what, Stanton did not miss that one by much.
So now Aaron Hicks, who grounded out to first base his first trip. Judge at first with 2 out. Hicks takes a changeup outside. Let's see where the Yankees rank in the American League.
And where they're not leading, either the Astros or Red Sox are.
Not listed there walks. They also lead the American League in walks. 2 straight changeups, and it's 2-0.
Red Sox lead in hitting, runs scored. They're second in home runs behind the Yankees. They're second in slugging percentage, 1 point behind the Yankees. And they lead in on-base percentage, and they lead in stolen bases, the Red Sox.
That's lined into center field, a base hit. Judge will stop at second. 3rd hit of the inning as Hicks keeps it going. And that puts 2 aboard with 2 out. 6 singles now against Syndergaard.
Hey, chipping away.
Well, really, this is the one thing we've seen in the 2 starts, is that although he's shown a penchant for coming back with his full arsenal, he hasn't been striking out hitters the way we have seen him in the past. He's been vulnerable to giving up hits.
3 strikeouts in 5 innings in that first start, and 2 so far tonight. And now Gary Sanchez tying run at the plate in a 4-1 game. Sanchez hit a slow ground ball, and Bautista barehanded it and threw him out. And it's popped up. Cabrera calling for it. And Syndergaard able to minimize the damage as the Yankees get their first run. After 3 in the Bronx, Mets 4, Yankees 1. Driving? It's getting late.
That train's pretty empty, guy.
Looks like those trains are made of copper.
I think it's just the beautiful lighting on that shot at sunset.
They look a little different in the morning. Trust me.
Well, it's hard to see them through squinty eyes sometimes.
What time in the morning are you talking about?
That's the point.
A regular morning.
Let's say Bautista fouls back the first pitch of the 4th inning. Bautista drove a double to left center to drive in a run in the first. Jose has more home runs as a visiting player in this ballpark than anybody else. He's hit 18 of them in the new Yankee Stadium. Flies this one out to center, and Hicks is coming on. 1 out. Let's check out tonight's Verizon trivia question. 4 managers who managed both the Yankees and the Mets.
I got 2 easy. 3 easy.
I think I got them all.
Here's Devin Mesoraco, and he lines one to left field. Gardner going back, and it's off the base of the wall. Mesoraco hesitated coming around first, now digging for second, and slides in safely with a 1-out double. So Mesoraco attacking first pitch against Herman. And he has his 7th double of the year.
Doubles night for the Mets.
That wrap around his follow through. Mesoraco reminds me so much of Mike Piazza's. Slams that back into his shoulder blades on his follow through.
Now Ahmed Rosario, who struck out his first time up. Five hits now for the Mets against Herman, and they've all been for extra bases. 4 doubles and a home run. Nothing but breaking stuff to Rosario, and it's 2-0. Now to chase a curveball for strike 3 his first time up. 25-year-old Domingo Herman making just his 13th big league start, his 2nd against the Mets. You okay over there, kid?
I had a Tanaka experience. I got a double cramp in both hamstrings.
Oh, what?
Were you running from third to home?
Oh,
was it a Tanaka blast?
Oh, both of them just all of a sudden.
You're a mess. I mean,
see what happened? I had 4 days off. Look at me.
I mean, you just had the All-Star break. I would think you'd be all fresh and ready to go. Oh,
look at Russ.
You need to hydrate.
Oh, there we go.
Thanks, Russ. And it's cold too.
It's the Wizard of Oz. Pay no attention to him. 3-1 to Rosario, and he bounces one foul. Change up from Herman. Full count.
I always try to relish and enjoy the shot, guys. The defense in the infield is playing in a regular position. We don't see it very often, so you have to savor and enjoy.
3-2 against the non-shift. And the curveball in there for strike 3 call. So Herman has struck out Rosario twice on curveballs, once swinging and now once looking. That's his 3rd of the night.
3rd strikeout, 3rd coming via the curveball. 95 punch outs this year, 58 of them on that pitch.
Yeah, that's right down the middle. That's a hanger. He just didn't pull the trigger. That's one you go, gosh.
So 2 out. Mesoraco still at 2nd, and now Dendecker, who grounded out his first time up. And a first pitch curve outside. Adam Warren up in the Yankee bullpen. There are your city probables for the remainder of the series. Tomorrow afternoon, Steven Matz against Sonny Gray. Sunday night, Jacob deGrom and Masahiro Tanaka.
Seems like a typo when you look at Jacob deGrom's record and ERA.
something there doesn't fit.
I think he should be 15-4. That's the second time that Ruben has almost got smoked by a line drive. Cabrera and now Den Decker.
So just enough dexterity to avoid getting hit. Herman lasted just 4 innings in his last start last Friday against Cleveland. Pitching in the 4th inning today with bullpen action up behind him. Gave up 6 runs in that last start. 4 tonight. Then Decker fouls it away.
We got the gold out, Keith. We could have one in the booth here.
Have to take a back seat to the horses.
You take a back seat to no one, Keith.
Herman's pace is really slowed down.
Get used to it. Sonny Gray tomorrow.
Yep.
In tight 2-2. Is Sonny Gray the slowest worker in the major leagues?
He is. He is. He's about 25 to 30 seconds in between pitches.
And he's 3-2 on everybody, which doesn't help. So, you know, come prepared.
Yeah, we'll get the Barco Lounger out. Hi, Russ. Can you help with that tomorrow?
Little lemonade. Be a back porch game. Supposed to be cool tomorrow.
Cooler, right?
Cooler. A little rain late in the day. Wind blowing in. Watch SNY Mets games on the go on any device with live streaming presented by Verizon. Just visit SNY.TV or download the NBC Sports app today for live streaming coverage of every SNY Mets game. Do you think now that they tabulate mound visits that umpires are more reluctant to chase the catcher away if he lingers there too long?
Doesn't seem like they go out there.
Yeah, now that they're, now that they're charged for each one, you don't want to break them up as quickly. 2-2. And Den Decker takes the curveball in the dirt and works the count full. Brandon Nimmo would be next.
Maybe Den Decker can get a fastball here, 3-2, and jump on it.
Still looking for that elusive first hit.
Mon doesn't want to face Nimmo.
Bounce down to first, foul ball.
What a journey Den Decker's been on, right? Not only being traded to different organizations, but when we first saw him, they didn't like him because he didn't get on base and he hit too many home runs. Then the game changed. They want players to hit home runs, but he was changing into a guy to put the ball in play, use his speed.
Still has a great asset with his defense and center. And he draws the walk to put 2 men aboard for Nimmo. It's a quality turn at bat for Den Decker to keep the inning alive. Second walk given up by Herman, and that may be the end of his line. About to start the 3rd time through the batting order. Aaron Boone's going to go to his bullpen. So Herman is out after 3 2/3. Adam Warren coming in. There's the ringing in the bullpen. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Verizon.
prospects was showing some good potential. Now they need your help to get us down to 3.
There are a lot of selfies on here.
He's a screenwriter.
Yeah, I'm sure he's great.
All right, so first off, his handle is Big Sexy.
This guy isn't big or sexy. And there really is only one big sexy. His name's Bartolo Colon. You guys are aware, right?
Who's that?
Forget it.
Don't miss the premiere of the new series Prospects, presented by Bowlmore Lanes, tonight after the postgame right here on SNY. Adam Warren in to pitch for the Yankees. Brandon Nimmo at the plate, and he grounds the first pitch foul.
Well, Adam Warren had a great first go around with the Yankees as a spot starter, sometimes reliever. He got traded over to the Cubs, did not perform well, and was thrown back in the Gleyber Torres trade, came back and has been outstanding ever since. Likes wearing the pinstripes.
Missed some time on the DL this year with some back problems, but has been part of that best in the majors Yankee bullpen. Nimmo has walked and struck out tonight, and he checks his swing, and he held it in time. Ball and a strike.
Good move, I think, by Aaron Boone, coming out and trying to get a veteran in there, try to make sure the Mets don't add on.
Right.
So his offense can take a couple shots.
It's a thing with that Yankee offense. If you're within 4 or 5 runs, it behooves you to keep it where it is, because you got a chance if your bullpen can hold it. And most of the time their bullpen has been awfully good at holding it where it is.
Yeah, and Syndergaard's not going to be in the game the whole game, so you know at some point you're going to be facing the bullpen. They're going to have to get those hitters out.
Mesoraco at second, Dendecker at first, and Nimmo swings through a fastball from Warren, 1-2.
Warren taking a long time.
2 on, 2 out, 2-2 to Nimmo. And he struck him out with a slider. Warren fans Nimmo to get the Yankees out of trouble in the 4th. Still 4-1 Mets. Babe Ruth Plaza outside the new Yankee Stadium, where they do an unbelievable job of honoring their history.
Yes, they do. They've also done a nice job around this ballpark. A lot of public parks and baseball fields and soccer fields.
Greg Bird leads off the home fourth and takes a fastball strike from Syndergaard. Bird struck out his first time up. Andujar and Walker to follow. 7, 8, and 9 in the Yankee order, and Syndergaard could use himself an easy inning. He's given up 6 hits, stranded 5 runners over the first 3 innings. And that's really of a piece with his first start back from the DL. He's now worked 8 innings, and he's had traffic in every one of them.
He's done a great job of pitching out of it.
DeGromian.
You just don't want to do it here, you know.
Well, you'd like to succeed in doing it here. It's just harder to do.
Harder to do it here. One kind of cheap swing, and
well, you know, Jake's not perfect either.
He isn't?
Well, he gave up a home run in the All-Star game to a pretty good hitter. Bautista, wide throw, and Flores stayed on the bag, and they get the out. Yankees may challenge this one.
Well, they're certainly going to look at it.
Awkward stretch by Wilmer, but first base umpire Larry Vanover said he kept his foot on the bag.
Oh no, that'd be.
Let's see.
No way.
I don't think so.
Close.
Nope. They're going to challenge that. So, folks, now's the time to go into the refrigerator and grab yourself a soda pop.
You know, that's the first time, and maybe it's because he was playing more closer to the shortstop position, that I've seen Bautista throw that 3/4 arm action, not straight over the top. And the foot is off.
Just off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's close, but I mean, the ball goes in the glove, and before it hits the back of the glove, it looks like the toe came off the bag. So it would certainly appear as though this might get overturned. Dennis DeMuth and Bill Miller have their crews in the replay center in Chelsea.
I've been wrong more than 50% of the time. I think they get some shots from the Starship Enterprise, so we don't get that view.
Meanwhile, they're seeking out new life and new civilization. They're providing replay looks as well.
Phasers on stun.
Is Scotty in Chelsea?
No, but Bones is, if you have any medical issues.
Got to watch out for that checkoff.
Why do you have to go there?
There we go. Out.
Wow. How about that? That looked pretty clear cut from where we were sitting.
I don't get it.
But the Yankees lose the challenge.
And that is getting the crowd here riled.
Because they saw the replay too. And boy, it sure looked from here as though Bird was safe.
Well, it wouldn't have been a base hit, Mr. Bird. It would have been an E5.
So a break for the Mets. 1 out and nobody on. Now Andujar, who had an infield hit his first time up. And he lines one at left for a base hit. So that is 7 hits, all singles now for the Yankees.
Right. So we went to the umpires meeting. We went separately here. I had to go another time. It's like not when the ball hits the back of the glove, but it's when the ball goes into the glove.
No, it's when it touches something in the glove.
Right.
It has to actually touch. In other words, it can touch the side of the glove. It can touch any part of the glove, but it has to touch something.
But the issue is that we did not. And they must have a different shot, because there's no way you can tell from that shot that it hit the glove before his foot came off.
Well, maybe they felt as though it wasn't definitive enough and the call on the field was out.
You're right. So maybe that's it.
And that provides all the ambiguity that you need to make any call you want.
Love.
Neil Walker flied out his first time up. And he rips one foul.
So you want to watch Syndergaard, how he's changed his mechanics. This is both from the windup, April and tonight. See on the left side, it's almost like he's from the stretch, but that's the windup. And now really just facing the hitter, like his broad chest facing the hitter. And the reason you do that, you can run into bad habits. On that left side, it becomes more of a circular motion where you start to pitch around in a circle. And the one on the right is simple pitching. That's point A to point B through the catcher.
No swing by Walker, 2-2. Do you think it also maybe accounts for the movement he's getting on that two-seamer?
I think that's part of it because it keeps your shoulders squarer than being open like that. And also I think, you know, when you spend 45 days on the DL, you have a lot of time to check things that have changed.
Nice curveball by Syndergaard to strike out Walker. And that is his 500th career strikeout. And he becomes the fastest man ever to get to 500 strikeouts. It took Dwight Gooden 445 in the third innings. It took Syndergaard 436 and a third.
Wow.
So that's it's a nice milestone for Noah. And it's the second out of the inning. Here's Brett Gardner, who's 1 for 2, an infield hit. He scored the only Yankee run in the third. And a curveball in for a strike. So you talked about Noah not using all of his pitches first time around. Now just breaking out that curveball.
I love to see that, saving some of your arsenal for the third time through the lineup. It's key if you want to last long. Now the problem is pitch count gets you sometimes.
Well, he's at 63 right now. Grounded down to first, and
Nice.
Wilmer handles that one, and that retires the side. So Syndergaard strands another runner. That's 6 in the first 4 innings for the Yankees. We head to the 5th in the Bronx with the Mets up 4-1.
The follow-through in both is exactly alike.
Well, the Babe knew about baseball and golf.
Look at here, nice stroke.
I'd have to say he took the club inside, Keith, went past parallel. His batting swing was a little better.
Speaking of people who know about baseball and golf, Yoenis Cespedes, who golfed a home run off the left field foul pole his first time up, his last time up after flying out in his first at bat. That was against Domingo Germán, now facing Adam Warren, who came in to get the final out in the fourth. Germán went 3 2/3, allowed 4 runs, 5 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, the 1 home run.
One can only imagine how far Babe Ruth could hit the golf ball, right?
I bet you if he connected with the driver.
Now, just remember, the equipment wasn't quite as good in those days.
Persimmon clubs, a lot of balls.
All right, so Cespedes hit a home run on a 3-0 pitch his last time up, only the second time he's done that in his career. He's got another 3-0 count. And this time he lays off and he's aboard with a walk. And this will be the first test of Cespedes' leg, as he'll be on base other than jogging around it for the first time.
And we'll see what kind of, I'm not going to say effort, what kind of speed he's going to go. Is he going to go 3/4? If they got him not wanting to do a full sprint, we'll see.
Cespedes now has a new pregame regimen he has to go through every day to get that quad and hip in shape to play. As Cabrera takes a strike, and Mickey Callaway was talking before the game about Cespedes' preparation, and he says there may be times in the next few weeks and coming months where we have to scratch him late because we don't feel he's ready to play on a given day, just depending on how that pregame routine goes and how he's feeling a particular day. Snap throw by Sanchez, and Cespedes, who took a pretty good secondary lead, hops back to the bag.
Guys, make sure you have your whiteout.
There will be whiteout necessary. Or we can write the lineups in pencil on the days that Cespedes is in them.
Or always put him in pencil. How about that? But it doesn't matter. It's shift around.
At some point, Ronnie, in every day, you have to commit to ink.
Well, like the crossword puzzle, we go straight to ink, right?
You know, that way, if you make a mistake, you can see it quite boldly.
So can everyone else.
Right.
Oh,
exactly. Two and two to Cabrera, who drove in the first Met run with a double into the right field corner. Popped up his second at bat. Cabrera continues to put up outstanding numbers as we reach what perhaps might be the end point of his tenure as a Met, with the trading deadline 11 days away. And foul tip is held by Sanchez for strike 3, and Warren has his second strikeout. 1 out in the inning.
it's not only starters, Keith. Relievers are using that fastball up in the strike zone. Gary Sanchez reminds me a lot of the late Gary Carter because of he's such a big bodied person. Is such a big target to throw to. You've got to, as a pitcher, kind of pinpoint where you're going to aim.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that he's such a big guy that if you don't concentrate, you're going to end up throwing pitches right at his body down the middle. I used to pick out kids, you know, his knee guards. I pick out the knee, right or left knee, to throw to, because he's huge back there.
Flags that one down. 1-1 to Flores, who's 0 for 2 tonight, fouled out and grounded out. Mets have 5 hits tonight, all for extra bases. Yankees have 7 hits, all singles. And that one ate up Flores.
I got a bat too.
Ate him up, ate the bat up.
Fortunately for Wilmer, the ball's foul. Well, you hate that as a hitter, and it checks swing and the ball stays fair, and it's a big out.
Cespedes at first and 1 out. And Flores reaches and fouls it off. One-two coming. Lays off breaking ball. 2-2.
Fortnite.
What do you feel about having a tablet in the dugout, guys?
I don't agree with that.
I don't think that should be allowed. I just don't like it.
Why?
Like you should be able to have video in the dugout.
I don't think there should be any connection between the dugout and anywhere. Like the video people inside the clubhouse,
I agree.
there should be no connection. That's how a lot of the stealing of the pitches happens. You should only be able to do that from the dugout.
Here's ball 4. So 2 walks in the inning for Warren, and the Mets have a couple of men on for Conforto. Well, I mean, there's not supposed to be an internet connection on that iPad. It's just supposed to do the video so they can see the pictures.
No, it's not. It's not that. I'm talking about all of that. But even more importantly, the people, and I don't want to take their jobs away. They do what they do, where they do it, but no connection with the players during the game. I don't want someone being able to go back and saying what sequence is Adam Warren using with a guy on second base.
I agree 100%.
Can't do that.
You're getting away from visual. Watch the ball game.
I see. So your concern is picking up signs by going to video.
I just don't believe in that. I just don't think that there should be a person watching for that and able to relay it to the bench, and that's how you steal it. You steal it because you have baseball instincts and knowledge, and you see it, and then you tell the rest of the people on the bench. That's how you play the game. Not because you go back and someone who's just sitting there working real hard, doing their deal, but has no association in the game, is able to participate in the game. Should not be allowed.
Here.
Conforto slaps one the other way for a base hit. Cespedes around third. He heads for the plate. Gardner's throw to the plate not in time. Second RBI of the night for Michael Conforto as he goes the other way, and it's 5-1 Mets.
Well, there's your first real test for Cespedes. Good hitting by Michael. Use that left field. That ball's down and away. Soft liner. And Cespedes with the real first look here. I don't see any issue there.
See, that's 2 slips now by Nimmo and Cespedes rounding third.
Cespedes didn't have to slide, and that's probably a good thing. First pitch breaking ball strike to Bautista, so a couple of walks, and the Mets able to cash one of them.
Oh, there it goes.
Another necklace. Isn't this where we left off with Dionis?
We're going to have to start buying the better stuff.
Bautista gets under one, flies it down the left field line, and Gardner watches it go out of play. I mean, we had the exploding necklace at second base earlier this year.
Yes.
They just left it on the field.
Diamonds.
They're forever. As I recall, wasn't it Cabrera who picked up all the diamonds?
Were they diamonds?
I don't.
I think they were.
Whether they were cubic zirconia or diamonds, either way,
paste.
Just you know, Cabrera just showing off another asset. Slider just misses. 1-2 to Bautista, who delivered an RBI double in the first, fly down the fourth. Single by Conforto was the Mets' first single of the night after 4 doubles and a home run. 2 RBIs for Conforto tonight, 32 for the year. 1-2 coming, and Bautista takes low and away, 2-2. So it's a struggle for Warren here in the 5th. Leadoff walk to Cespedes, a 1-out walk to Flores. Conforto cashes one with a base hit, and now Bautista trying to add to it. Two coming.
He's not getting that slider over.
We're all in the same place.
Well, I think he's trying to get Bautista to fish on that slider, but Bautista's locked in.
Bautista just continues to produce. Started the night with the Mets, hitting .423 with runners in scoring position. He added to that with that first inning double tonight. And another opportunity here. (3-2) and another slider and another one that just missed. That's ball 4, and the bases are loaded. 3rd walk of the inning issued by Adam Warren, and 5 walks for Yankee pitchers tonight.
Well, it was a good one, but I think it was outside.
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
Easily.
He loves his slider, does he not?
He does.
Well, this Yankee bullpen, like their starters, throws an incredibly high number of breaking pitches. Jason Shreve up in the bullpen for the Yankees. So Mesoraco with a chance to blow this game open. Bases loaded, 1 out. Mets up 5-1 in the 5th. And Mesoraco takes a first pitch slider for a strike. Devin jumped on a first pitch fastball and hit one off the base of the wall in left field in the 4th.
Yankee infield in at the corners. Back for 2 up the middle.
Warren 31 pitches, 17 balls. And Mesoraco wouldn't chase that one. A ball and a strike. Mets have shown good patience tonight, first with Germán and now with Warren, not doing a lot of chasing against a Yankee team that just does not throw a lot of fastballs.
Well, they will, but those come late when they're winning.
Mesoraco pops one foul. Bird coming to the railing, but he's out of room. 1-2 to Mesoraco.
That's a big series in Washington, Gary. I mean, that's Atlanta traveling to the Nationals, and Atlanta getting the best of them. Atlanta can put some little harm in the Nationals' second half hopes.
Phillies are also leading their game. They're up 7-5 on the Padres in the 5th. And that's chasing both of them. 1-2. Line left field, base hit. Flores is in. They'll hold Conforto at 3rd. It's an RBI single for Devin Mesoraco, his second hit of the night. It's 6-1 Mets. The bases remain loaded. So the Mets cashing in the walks by Warren. 2 runs home in the inning.
Slider. It was in a good spot, didn't break that much, and Mesoraco, who's had a little bit of issues with the breaking ball, gets a base hit here. Conforto made sure it went through.
So Conforto now at 3rd, Bautista at 2nd, Mesoraco at 1st, and it's Rosario at the plate. Ahmed struck out his first 2 at bats against Germán, and he takes a first pitch fastball for a strike from Warren.
Really last hitter for Warren here because of all the trouble he's put himself in.
Got 2 left-hand hitters to follow, Dendecker and Nimmo, and the lefty Shreve up in the bullpen. Rosario taps one down to first. Bird comes home for 1. Sanchez to first. No chance there. So they get the second out, forcing Conforto at the plate, 3-2.
Well, this could have been 2 with most hitters, but Rosario runs too well.
And the bird didn't even get back to the bag.
Mr. Warren's going to have another batter.
No, he's not.
No, he's not.
Okay.
Aaron Boone waited as long as he could to get Shreve an extra warm-up pitch or 2. So Shreve will come in. Mets have the bases loaded, already up 6-1. We'll be right back. The Mets get back to Citi Field to take on the Padres. 6:30 the coverage Monday night right here on SNY. Mets up 6-1 as they bat in the top of the 5th, and Chasen Shreve will be the 3rd Yankee pitcher.
He's the one left-hander that's been battered around a little bit with that high ERA. Only a couple of bad outings though for Shreve. Fastball, curveball change.
Really the only situational lefty they have. Their other lefty is their closer, Aroldis Chapman. Here's Matt Dendecker with the bases loaded and 2 out. First pitch swinging, fouls back the fastball. Dendecker is grounded out and walked. He's the 8th man up in the inning, an inning in which Adam Warren walked 3. He's given up 2 hits, each of which scored a run, and now Shreve trying to bail him out with his 3 runners left on base. Bautista, Mesoraco, and Rosario with 2 down. 28-year-old Chasen Shreve throws a fastball right down the middle to get ahead on Dendecker. 0-2. Dendecker takes inside.
It's a dangerous pitch to throw in today's game with the armor that the players wear or not wear. They just don't get out of the way. So when you just miss like Shreve missed, came very close to hitting Dendecker.
Fouled off Sanchez and back. Another left-hand hitter, Brandon Nimmo, would be next. So Warren worked an inning in relief, allowed 2 hits, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, 2 runs so far. 1-2 coming. And Dendecker strikes out on the fastball to end the inning. Mets strand 3, but they score 2. Halfway through, Mets 6, Yankees 1. Managers to manage both the Mets and Yankees: Stengel, Berra, Torre, Green.
I did. I had him. I had Dallas Green. Keith said I was wrong with Dallas Green.
They had them in alphabetical order. I went for chronological.
I went for the first 3 I knew right away, and then
which were the 3 you knew immediately?
Torre, Berra, and Stengel.
And Dallas was the last.
Yeah, to come.
Well, Syndergaard facing 2, 3, and 4 in the Yankees batting order, third time around. Judge, Gregorius, Stanton. As we go to the bottom of the 5th. Noah now with a 5-run lead. Judge had a base hit to left field his last time up, 1 for 2. And a first pitch curveball in for a strike. Syndergaard has just started to unleash his curveball the last couple of hitters. After holding it in reserve first time around the batting order and most of the second. Keeping the ball away from Judge, 2-1. Well, coming into the day, Judge and Stanton had combined for 48 home runs, which is pretty good, except when you think about the fact that they combined for 111 last year.
Less than the 2 small guys in Cleveland.
Lindor and Ramirez. That's a swinging strike. Larry Vanover with the call. Judge certainly didn't think so.
I didn't myself. Well, let's take a look.
You can make a case. Ronnie, I'm sure, would. 2-2 coming. Bouncing ball, open space, base hit. Judge will stop at first base as Nimmo gets to it quickly. Only one infielder on that right side, and Flores well off the line. Just couldn't get back to that slow ground ball that found its way into right field.
A big guy like that hitting the ball like this. Come on. He'll take it.
You're saying it shouldn't count?
Listen, we're up here all the time talking about putting the ball in play instead of striking out.
Hey, not sure that was his intent, but it worked. What an odd game for Syndergaard. 4 innings plus, 8 hits, all singles, and so far only 1 run allowed. Now Gregorius, who has one of those hits off Rosario's glove in the first. Let's check in with Steve Gelb. Steve?
Gary, when it comes to Noah Syndergaard, we all know about the physical attributes, but he's been spending a lot of time the last couple of years working on the mental side of the game. Syndergaard said when he first came up, it was very taxing. He would pitch one inning, go into the dugout, and he would really think to himself, man, I've got to do 6 more of those. And he would almost resent, he said, going back out inning after inning, until he read a book in the middle of 2016 called The Mindful Athlete by George Mumford, which really helped him focus on enjoying what he was doing and, again, focus on just each individual pitch rather than the totality of what the task in front of him was. And he said since that time he's been able to enjoy what he's doing more, and the game has seemed to breeze by a lot quicker than it did when he first came up.
You know, Steve, Mel Stottlemyre used to describe it in his own way, and I think it speaks to what you were saying. He used to say, imagine an imaginary basket behind the rubber, just fill it with outs. You know, and it became more of a fun game as a pitcher.
Oh, that splinters. Ball goes foul.
The problem is that the way that the pitcher has been raised now through the minor leagues and developed is that, as you see the splinter off the bat, right off the end, is that after 5 or 6 innings, or you know, they start to understand and manage the game and know that they're not going to be in for long. And that's I think that's one of the worst injustices that baseball has done to these, boy, big, strong, raw athletes.
Well,
Noah Syndergaard's built to throw 125 pitches. I don't care what anyone says.
but is he built to throw 125 pitches going all out in the first inning? See, that's the thing. The reason why they're managing to stay in the game in the 5th and 6th rather than thinking about the 8th and 9th is because they're going guns blazing from the first pitch.
Yeah.
Popped up in his shallow center, and Dendecker calls for it.
And you're right, Gary, 100%, because I wasn't taught that way, so I don't know what that even means.
And who's to say that it's wrong to do that? And Mickey Callaway's on his way out to the mound and taking a trainer with him.
I saw him looking at his finger. I don't know if it's anything with that. We know he's coming off the DL from the ligament issue in the right index finger. He's saying, no, I'm fine.
And I'm sure what has to have at least in part alarmed Mickey is the fact that Syndergaard's velocity is down significantly. He's been throwing 94 miles an hour in this inning. He convinces both Mickey and the trainer that he's okay to continue. I guess he convinced Cabrera too.
Convince your teammate. That's more important than the staff.
Well, he's going to face Stanton with 1 out and 1 on. Seth Lugo's up in the bullpen in case Syndergaard does need assistance. Stanton has singled and delivered the Yankee run with a sacrifice fly. And goes after a first pitch sinker, 0-1.
After that swing, Stanton kind of pointed at his head, like, think.
Well, you're not going to hit that pitch.
Grounded down behind the bag and just foul. 0-2. But it certainly is the case that, you know, Syndergaard, who was throwing 99 and 100 in his last start, came out throwing 98 tonight, and now he's throwing 94, 95. And we've seen this over the course of a few years with Noah, that his velocity will come down after a pumped up first inning, but not usually this much. I mean, normally sliders 94.
I think that's a great use for the gun, you know.
1-2. Comes inside with the changeup. 2-2. Well, you see the defense not overshifted against Stanton. And they are right in those pie pieces where he hits the ball the most.
Interesting. The defense on the left side is playing right in the middle of their slice of the pie, but Cabrera is not. He's a little to the right side of his slice.
I think that's because it's a double play situation. 2-2 coming. And a foul tip held by Mesoraco for strike 3.
Boy, he just stayed inside with that little. Stayed inside. That was a changeup, but he's throwing in the same location. There's a circle change. That sinker. It's sinking action down and in.
From 2 fastballs down and in, 3 changeups down and in.
Things haven't changed. The big hitters you have to tie up.
So 2 out. Judge still at first, and here's Aaron Hicks. 1 for 2, single to center his last time up. And a first pitch curveball misses for ball 1. I would have to suspect that with all the hits he's allowed tonight and all the pitches out of the stretch and the visit just a moment ago, it's probably going to be Syndergaard's last inning, even though he's only at 82 pitches. Threw 75 in that first start against the Nats. And Mickey Callaway said before the game tonight he could push him to 100, but that it might be less than that.
Did you ever think of the possibility that he's just simply gassed? That can happen.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be an injury. Just be gassed.
Hicks flares one out to left, and there's Conforto, and that retires the side. So Syndergaard gets around the leadoff hit. He's through 5, having allowed just 1 run. 6-1 Mets heading to the 6th. By the way, that's Yankee Stadium backwards, in case you were confused. I like the train going out in front of it. It's like a ghost train.
Muy dots eque.
That's box score presented by Fidelis Care. And in case you missed it the first time, Conforto's driven in a couple of runs. Cespedes homering in his first game back from the disabled list. Mets having themselves a good offensive night. 6 runs and 7 hits over the first 5 innings. Brandon Nimmo leading off in the 6th against Chasen Shreve, who came in to get the final out in the 5th. Nimmo's walked and scored a run, struck out twice. Hitless in his last 10 at bats now. And he lines one into center field to break that. Over goes Stanton, but he can't cut it off, and Nimmo will get to second base. He's going to take a turn. He's going to try for 3. Walker with the relay throw to third. A good throw, and he got it. Oh. Neil Walker with a perfect relay throw to third. And Nimmo's thrown out trying to stretch a double into a triple.
It took a perfect throw from the relay to get him. And this 6-1, go for it.
See that knuckleball, how it moved?
Yeah, it sure did.
I thought it was a high tag. That's the only reason I think they're thinking of checking it.
Third base umpire David Rackley making the call. Sherlock telling Nimmo to slide. He did. Andujar put on the tag. 9-4-5 on the putout.
Got him. Yep. Perfect call. Good call. Good fundies by the Yankees there. Nice. Perfect throw by Walker. The throw's high. He's safe. It had to be right low to the bag. Good relay throw in from Stanton.
Were you guys shocked that he was going for 3?
Well, with nobody out,
yeah.
I was a little surprised.
Well, you know what? 6-1. Push the envelope.
Okay.
Took a perfect throw to get him. If that throw's waist high and he has to bring the glove down, he's safe. The Yankees did everything right there.
Cespedes has homered and walked in his first game back. Off-speed pitch by Shreve, and it's 1-2. Got him on the leg right before the foot hit the bag, and Chasen Shreve happy about that.
Bailed him out.
Back to the splitter, and it misses 2-2. Each team now with 8 hits tonight. 6 of the Mets' 8 hits have been for extra bases. That was their 5th double to go with the Cespedes home run. Keeping it away from Cespedes. Full count with Cabrera on deck. Line the other way, and Cespedes has his second hit of the night. Took a fastball into right field. Home run, walk, and single for Cespedes in his first game back.
It's like he never missed a game. Fastball belt high outside. Goes right with it.
So he's aboard with 1 out. And now Cabrera, who doubled in a run in the first, 1 for 3 on the night. Noah Syndergaard, as we suspected, looks like he's done for the night after 5 innings. Seth Lugo throwing in the Mets bullpen.
So Aaron Boone's trying to steal an inning here with Shreve, who's already benefited from the double thrown out at third by Nimmo. Now the base hit by Cespedes. He's got to get through Conforto, so Cabrera and Flores have a chance. Add on.
That's lined to center, but it'll stay up for Hicks, and he makes the catch. And back to first goes Cespedes. 2 out. So 3 hard hit balls in a row against Shreve in this 6th inning.
Hicks is a very underrated center fielder by the eye and also by the defensive metrics, and he's got a cannon from center field.
He has turned into the kind of player that the Twins thought he was going to be when they first called him up, probably prematurely.
They rushed him and he lost his confidence.
Here's Flores, who's 0 for 2 and a walk. And he cracks one to deep left field. Back goes Gardner to the warning track. He has room, and he puts it away to retire the side. Well, Shreve gave up 4 pretty well hit balls in that inning, but lived to tell about it. Still 6-1 Mets.
Series when you play Roger Maris Action Baseball by Pressman. Now you can hit home runs just like Roger Maris.
Yes, kids. There's nothing like the thrill of baseball. And now it's yours.
Get Roger Maris Action Baseball today. $2.98. Oh boy, a Pressman toy.
What a bargain.
$2.98 for Roger Maris Action Baseball. Where do we get one?
61.
61 and 61. Seth Lugo on to pitch for the Mets in the bottom of the 6th. He pitched in the last game the Mets played on Sunday, a scoreless inning against the Nationals. They'll take on Gary Sanchez leading off the bottom of the 6th. So Syndergaard is second straight outing, very similar to the first one. 5 innings, 1 run, 8 hits, no walks, 4 strikeouts.
Yeah, some bending, not breaking.
So in 2 starts back from the DL, Noah has gone 10 innings, given up 15 hits, but only 2 runs. You see tonight's starters brought to you by People's United Bank. Domingo Herman didn't fare nearly as well.
I think he only walked 1 in his first start, so that helps, you know. But he's been walking the tightrope.
One to Sanchez, and he pokes one through the vacated space. A leadoff hit for Sanchez, and the Yankees singles parade continues. That's 9 of them tonight without an extra base hit. Let's check in with the studio. Eamon McEnany is a game break brought to you by your Tri Honda dealers. Eamon. Mets in a virtual tie with the Marlins for last place. Marlins barely ahead of the Mets going into the ninth. Here's Greg Bird, who's 0 for 2. And first pitch curveball from Lugo for a strike. Bird has struck out and grounded to third. It's a Yankee team that's known for their all or nothing offense.
Yeah.
Tonight they have 9 singles and no extra base hits.
Well, 54 percent of their runs come via the home run. So that's the team. That's their team.
So all these singles haven't done much.
Moving the line is not the way they go. They want to run around the line.
But if you keep giving them a whole bunch of singles, then one of those home runs.
That's right.
Would be far more meaningful. Each team now with 9 hits tonight. 1-2 coming. And Bird takes fastball inside. 97 from Seth. Moves back to the kind of velocity he had earlier as a reliever.
Yeah, that's the separator, because you know as a hitter you're going to see a lot of curveballs, but you have to respect his fastball. Just too good.
And Bird strokes one foul. Miguel Andujar on deck.
Lugo provides you the insurance of your starting pitcher not going deep into the game. That's what he does out of the bullpen.
Gets it on the hands of Bird, who pops it up. Rosario back, twisting, and it drops. And then dropped by Conforto before he can have a chance to throw to second base for a possible force on Sanchez. Rosario got turned all the way around, and neither he nor Dendecker could make the play.
Well, Rosario, I felt, had it, but was called off late by Dendecker, and when Dendecker calls him off, he's got to bail. So I think, I thought he had it.
And then he was too close as Dendecker tried to make a slide. He had to shorten the slide.
Yeah. But once Dendecker makes the call, you got to give way to the outfielder. He's calling for it, and he didn't have it.
But with 45,000 strong here, maybe you didn't hear him until they got closer together. You know.
So it'll go as a pop fly single for Bird. And the Yankees have the first 2 men on. Do you think if Conforto picks that ball up cleanly, does he have a chance for Sanchez?
No, he was there.
Even though it's Sanchez?
Yes, he was. Yeah.
You got to watch out first pitch here with Andujar.
Andujar already 2 for 2. And he pulls that one foul.
Tell you what, Andujar is a very aggressive hitter. I like the way he attacks the ball.
If you read the stories, if they do have a chance, the Yankees, to covet a big starter, he's going to be probably part of the deal.
Ball to strike to Andujar. Neil Walker, the number 9 hitter, on deck. Yankees now with 10 singles. And a curveball hit foul, and it's 1-2.
You probably haven't had a game all year through 9 innings that they had 10 singles.
Not in a game where they didn't have anything else. Well, Lugo has given up a ground ball where there was nobody playing, and a pop-up that fell in between 2 fielders. By all rights, he should have 2 outs. He has none. 2-2 to Andujar.
Young Andujar has got 27 doubles this year.
41 extra base hits, leading all big league rookies. Lugo trying to get that ground ball. Instead, he strikes out Andujar for the first out. Nice slider by Lugo, 1 away.
Lugo wins that battle. Goes up with that fastball prior, now comes with a bad slider down and away. Gets him to chase.
So 2 on and 1 out. And here's Walker, who's flied out and struck out 0 for 2. Sanchez at second, Bird at first, Walker at the plate. Not much speed in any of those spots. Below the knees, ball 1. Rosario and Sanchez playing games out at second base. Wouldn't think that Sanchez is the guy you really need to keep a close tether on. But they're having a good time.
You just need to play whatever position you're going to play. Sanchez going nowhere.
Meanwhile, Lugo behind on Walker 2-0. And Neal strikes 1 foul. Last time Lugo faced the Yankees, it was as a starting pitcher in that Sunday night game in that first series, and he was brilliant.
It's like the last win they had for a while, right? At home.
6 scoreless innings, allowed just 2 hits, and the Yankees got as many hits against him the first 2 batters he faced in this outing. Soft though they may have been. In on the hands of Walker, and he fouls it back 2-2. It's fun watching Lugo pitch.
Yes, it is.
Got a real idea.
You could throw him back to the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s.
He may be as cerebral a pitcher as the Mets have.
Yes. Got an idea of where every pitch should be located. Tries to set up hitters. That's what he does. Tries to dictate the at-bats.
Curveball hit out to left center field, back in the gap, and that's going to split him and go to the wall. Sanchez will loop home. Bird being waved home as well. It's a 2-run double for Neal Walker, and the Yankees creep closer. It's now 6-3. First extra base hit of the day for the Yankees, and it's Neal Walker, the former Met, who plates a pair with a double.
Breaking ball down and away. And Conforto playing a shallow here. Bird got the long strides. That's not a great runner. Breaking ball in the back door. Walker, a good pitch, but Walker protecting the plate. That's good hitting.
So now Brett Gardner, and this is the loudest this crowd's been all night. Gardner takes a curveball for a strike.
The lineup is starting to turn over. That's why there's the buzz.
Aaron Judge waiting on deck. All 9 Yankee starters now have at least a hit. They've got 11 in total. Walker at second and 1 out. Gardner has to move his feet. 1-1. Two in a row inside.
He's missed really badly inside against the left-hand hitters, really trying to establish in.
Chad Green up in the Yankee bullpen. Mets bullpen is quiet behind Lugo. They really need him to get through this inning and the next as well. Curveball bounced foul, 2-2.
It seems counterintuitive, but when you have a short porch in right field, you have to pitch the left-handers in. You've got to tie them up because they can reach out. We saw Curtis Granderson here in a Mets uniform. They can reach out on that outside corner and hook it over that short porch.
Two. Fouls back the fastball.
Gardner fits in the pesky category, doesn't he, Keith?
Yes, he does.
Lugo about to throw his 25th pitch of the inning, still only 1 out. And Gardner wastes away the curveball to stay alive. Well, it goes without saying with Judge standing on deck how huge a hitter this is for Lugo.
Yes. Yeah.
This will be the 7th pitch of the at bat to Gardner. And he fouls away the fastball. Pesky indeed. Again, the 2-2. Fly ball, left field. And Conforto waiting for it. 2 out. So Lugo wins that battle. And now he'll face Judge with 2 out and a runner at second. Judge is 2 for 3 tonight. Single to left, single to right.
He swung the bat well. And remember, he's hit the ball hard on fastballs inside his first 2 at bats against Syndergaard, who's a harder thrower than Lugo. Hit 2 bullets to left field. So it'll be very interesting to see how Lugo works him.
Before tonight's game, Judge at Yankee Stadium in 139 games, 53 home runs and 116 RBI.
Fastball at the knees for a strike. Hit the other way, but right at Flores. Soft liner for the 3rd out. Lugo gives up a pair, but no more. 6-3 Mets after 6. by Cadillac. Some notes from the All-Star break. 3 teams in 1 league. 25 or more games over 500 for the first time since the All-Star game began in 1933. Michael Conforto leading off the 7th inning against Chad Green. Now, teams win 78% of the time when they out-homer the opponent. But look at that. When you strike out more than the opponent, you win 37% of the time. So strikeouts matter.
They do.
Conforto 2 for 3 tonight. A pair of run scoring hits. He doubled to right in the first, single to left in the 5th. Now facing Chad Green.
He's got some decent numbers, but in his last 2 games against Baltimore and on Sunday before the All-Star break against Cleveland, his last 3 2/3, he's given up 5 runs.
He throws fastballs and he throws strikes. 9 walks in 46 innings.
You know, he throws hard. Big burly right-hander.
Conforto, Bautista, and Mesoraco for the Mets in the 7th. And Michael fouls off a fastball, and it's 1-2. There's the spray chart on Conforto on balls that he hits 120 feet or less.
And the 10% in that gap in left center field is what alarms me a little bit.
Statcast AI powered by Amazon Web Services. Of course, those are only balls that he hits on the infield. His outfield spray chart would be different, and that's why they play him to the opposite field in the outfield. And he bounces that one back to the mound. Does that count on the spray chart?
I don't know.
I would think so.
1 out. I guess it does.
Is it included in the 36%, or is it included in the one up the middle? That's up the middle.
It's right. It's right on that
cusp.
Right on the pie chart slicer.
Well, sometimes you occasionally get a piece of apple sticking out.
So you're saying the slice is on one side, but the little crumb might be on the other side.
That's right. Where does that factor?
It's a sidewinder.
There you go.
Lots of English. Unless it's Boston cream pie.
Then you know.
Not English. But you know, Boston cream pie isn't really pie. It's really cake.
That's right. It is cake with lots of stuff on it. You know, Chad Green, when he started his career, they were trying to get him to be a starting pitcher. But uptick and stuff when he's been in the bullpen has made him into a power reliever, and he can go more than 1 inning.
Bautista has doubled in a run, flied out and walked, and they put the full shift on now with a 2-1 count. And yet Green keeps it away, and now it's 3-1. That's interesting, right? He got to 2-1. Walker moves from the right side of the bag to the left side, but the pitcher works him away.
Was it a fastball or slider?
Fastball.
That's interesting.
A foul. Sanchez back for a look, but that's in the crowd. Geico Sports Night comes up after the post game. Lots more on the Subway Series. 11 days to the trading deadline. And then even more baseball. It's baseball, baseball, and more baseball.
I love it.
I guess training camp hasn't started yet.
Boy, someone got lost, couldn't get out there.
3-2. Line left field. Gardner going back. Warning track and leaps to make the catch. Another hard hit ball off the bat of Bautista, but Gardner with a nice play for the 2nd out. Gold Glover 2 years ago. Here's Mesoraco. Devin is 2 for 3 tonight. Double to left, single to left to drive in a run. Slider off the plate from Green, 2-1. And Mesoraco takes a fastball just off the plate. Sanchez wants them to check a half swing. Larry Vanover says no, and it's 3-1. Ahmed Rosario would be next. Mesoraco bangs one foul. Ooh, just eludes the ball boy. Tough hop.
It was a good effort though.
Ball came down past the tarp and then took like a big kangaroo bounce.
It's a good effort.
He's tall. He just wasn't tall enough. Three-two coming, and Mesoraco pops one up. Sanchez has to battle the umpire, but it'll go out of play anyway. Do a cha-cha-cha with Hunter Wendelstedt to get around him.
Well, two big men back there, Sanchez and Wendelstedt.
Hunter's got similar physique to his dad.
Looks like his dad.
Harry Wendelstedt, longtime National League umpire.
Yeah, he looks like his dad. His dad had a little more heft to him.
Seventh pitch to Mesoraco, and he fouls off another one.
That's a new one at a ballpark.
The pina colada in the pineapple.
In the pineapple.
That's very nice. And there's ball four. 3-2 slider from Green, who rarely walks a man, but he just walked Mesoraco with two out.
Good at bat by Devin right there.
Also, it's a part of the offense for the Mets in the first part of the season before the All-Star game that kind of dried up, right? The ability to walk, and they've done it nicely tonight.
Mets came into the night 7th in the National League in drawing walks, right in the middle of the pack. Rosario, tough night, 0 for 3, couple of strikeouts. And then was part of allowing that pop fly single by Greg Bird to fall in, which cost the Mets a run. Also had a ground ball go off his glove that was scored a hit that could have easily been an error. So it's been a rough go all the way around for Ahmed tonight.
It's not only that Green throws hard, but he throws slightly across his body, which makes it a little more difficult for the right-handers to pick up.
Got a big shoulder lift too. Hides the ball well.
One-two to Rosario, and he just got a piece of the slider to stay alive. Green, the fourth Yankee pitcher of the night. Domingo Germán lasted just 3 2/3, allowed 4 runs, 5 hits. Adam Warren worked an inning, 2 runs, 2 hits. Chasen Shreve was fortunate, an inning and a third, no runs, 2 hits. And now Green working the 7th, and Rosario fouls one away.
A lot of pitches here.
Well, we just saw Seth Lugo throw 29 pitches in the last half inning. Green about to throw his 25th in this inning. And Rosario tries to lay off and did. 2-2. Looks like Lugo's going back out there for the 7th. Rosario pops one foul. Bird watches it sail out of play. Mets 6 runs and 9 hits. The Yankees 3 runs and 11 hits. 264 pitches so far tonight.
That's it?
It's only the top of the 7th.
Okay.
265.
Crazy.
Yankee pitchers have thrown 152 to get 20 outs. 2-2 coming, and he lays off. Full count. So Rosario, who has been trying to master the art of laying off that pitch out of the strike zone, has done it successfully a couple of times in this at bat.
Well, this is very impressive right there, because he took a little off that slider to get more break. So we can start out more in the middle.
10th pitch of the at bat. 2 hopper to shortstop. Gregorius to first. Gets Rosario by a stride. Side retired. A walk and 1 left. Stretch time at Yankee Stadium. Mets up 6-3.
It's the football battle of the century, and 74,000 fans spin the turnstiles to jam every seat in Yankee Stadium. Those coveted Army Notre Dame Ducats are the password today, and football fans are on edge everywhere. The West Point cadets are out in full force to cheer their team on in an effort to hang up the nation's gridiron title. And they're going to need all that famous Army spirit in this meeting with an unbeaten Irish squad eager to knock down the cadets' string of 25 straight victories.
1946, the old Yankee Stadium. Was it the game of the year or the game of the century? Because the graphics said game of the year, and then the announcer said game of the century.
Well,
finished in a 0-0 tie. I mean, I think most people, when they think of football classics at the old Yankee Stadium, they think of the overtime NFL championship game between the Giants and the Colts. 1958, Alan Amici scoring the game-winning touchdown.
Yes. How about the picture of Y.A. Tittle when he had the cut on his head and he was on his knees? I think it was Stieglitz might have taken that photo. That was at old Yankee Stadium, right?
Yes, it was.
And when Frank Gifford was knocked out, remember when
Chuck Bednarik?
Yep. That famous photo, the old Eagle linebacker.
Interesting to see what Lugo has here in the 7th after a taxing 6th inning.
Threw 29 pitches in that 6th inning, gave up a couple of soft hits that Neil Walker cashed in with a 2-run double. It's very nice that they slice off all that fat, don't you think? Give you a little more lean for your money.
Well, also the fat adds a little to the flavor here.
Now the marbling, I think, adds to the flavor. I don't think you want the excess fat at the.
Look at that!
It's an art form.
Thank you, Mr. Lobel. Full house at Yankee Stadium, better than 47,000. 3, 4, and 5 in the Yankees batting order in the bottom of the 7th. Gregorius, Stanton, and Hicks to face Seth Lugo. Gregorius had an infield hit in the first, 1 for 3 on the night. And Lugo misses the outside corner, ball 1. Syndergaard went 5, allowed a run on 8 hits, no walks, 4 strikeouts. Lugo now working his 2nd inning. And falls behind on Gregorius, 2-0. Jonathan Holder, who has really been pitching well lately for the Yankees, is up in the bullpen. Now there's a 2-0 curveball for a strike. I always find it fascinating in the odd American League game that we do, seeing how managers manage their bullpen without the imperative of having to bat for their pitchers.
Right.
Down the left field line, foul, 2-2. I mean, so often in a National League game, how you use their bullpen, your bullpen is almost dictated by where the pitcher spot comes up. And you just don't have that imperative pushing you in these American League games. Gregorius gets jammed, hits it past Lugo, hurrying in Cabrera. He can't make the bare hand play. Gregorius overran first, otherwise he might have had a chance for 2. But he was legging it, thinking he had to beat it out. And it's yet another soft hit for the Yankees, who've had a half dozen of them tonight.
Well, this is a wicked slider here. And just chews up Gregorius. And once Cabrera doesn't make the play, there's no chance to get Gregorius at first at his speed.
Off the bat, I thought Lugo had a chance for that.
Yeah, he did.
So now Stanton, who has a single and a sacrifice fly, 1 for 2. And he takes a knee-high fastball for a strike. That play again.
Jams Gregorius right back through the middle, and just not a quick enough reaction by Lugo.
Stanton fouls it off. 1-2. Aaron Hicks on deck. Robert Gsellman getting ready in the Mets bullpen. Stanton 3 for 10 against Lugo with a home run. Mesoraco knocks that breaking ball down. It's 2-2. So Stanton has 1 against Lugo among the 36 home runs he's hit against the Mets. If he had stayed in the National League, he would have had a chance to catch Willie Stargell. 60. 2-2. Taken low, full count.
You anticipate the 3-2 hook here, Keith?
Well, Lugo certainly can do it.
And he goes with the slider and misses for ball 4. And the Yankees, for the 2nd straight inning, get the first 2 men on against Lugo. Gsellman throwing. Dave Allen heading out to the mound to talk to Lugo, who is not at his sharpest tonight.
Slow walk by Island. Give Gsellman some more time. Try to reinforce what Lugo has to do against the dangerous Hicks.
That's at a 6-1 lead. The Yankees pushed a couple across against Lugo in the 6th, and now they get the tying run to the plate in the 7th. Hicks tonight is 1 for 3, single to center back in the third.
Always a good time right here with a pitcher in trouble. Give up a base hit, then a walk, and look for first ball fastball. If you don't get it, take it. Don't let him get 0-1 with a fastball.
First pitch breaking ball, and he swings over the top of it.
And Lugo loves to throw that breaking ball first pitch. He's got a good one. Why not?
Rosario playing right behind Gregorius at second. And another curveball. That one's outside. A ball and a strike. Seth up over 40 pitches now in an inning plus. And 3 curveballs in a row, and he's ahead on Hicks 1-2.
Well, that's the big key pitch. We talked about it a million times. That 1-1 pitch, and he helped him out there. Went after a bad one. Would have been 2-1 instead of 1-2.
Gary Sanchez on deck. One-two to Hicks. Ground ball to second, might be 2. Cabrera to Rosario to first. Not in time. Close play, but Hicks able to beat it out. Mets will put a hold on to see if they want to review it.
Boy, that was close.
For the moment, 1 out.
Tie base goes to the runner. They're going to probably ask to check this.
Nice save.
Safe.
He's definitely safe.
Good hustle by Hicks. Burned down that line.
Quick turn by Rosario. You always have to be careful right on the quick turns now. Always have to make sure you get that foot on the bag. But excellent quick turn.
Does it matter that Stanton peeled off to the infield?
In a game like this, it would have been nicer if he went in on him, but didn't think he could get there.
First and third and 1 out. Now Sanchez, who had a base hit his last time up, which was basically a ground ball to second base that found a hole. This time the Mets are not over shifting against Sanchez. Gregorius at third, Hicks at first with 1 out. Hicks can steal a base. 8 for 9 this year. Lifted along the right field line. And Flores can't get there. Nobody else really was in the neighborhood.
Well, it's hard to tell where the state of Gary Sanchez's game is, but one of the things he can do when he's on top of his game is he uses that short porch as well as any right-hander in the lineup. He and Judge.
Tonight it's his first game back after missing 20 games with a groin injury. Dylan Betances joining Jonathan Holder in the Yankee bullpen. And a fastball in for a strike, and Lugo gets ahead on Sanchez 1-2.
Looking for the old breaking ball, didn't get it.
Well, anything on the ground on the infield with Sanchez at the plate, you got a real good chance to turn 2.
Wants that breaking ball down.
Long hold and time asked for.
You know, you're 3 runs down. Hicks got a lot of speed. The Mets have showed if you advance scout them, they do not throw the ball through. So it's almost a gimme.
One-two coming. Struck him out. Threw a fastball by him. Second strikeout for Lugo. 2 out of the inning.
Lugo, let me tell you, he has used his fastball when in trouble tonight masterfully. I mean, not fearless. Got Judge the inning before to end the inning on. Came in out inside and got him.
So now Greg Bird, see Mesoraco flashing signs to the infield about what to do if Hicks takes off. First and third and 2 out now, and Lugo with a chance to somehow get through this inning unscathed. 3 infielders on the right side against Bird, who had a pop fly into shallow center that fell for a base hit his last time up. And a first pitch curveball goes around the plate for ball 1. Seth about to throw his 50th pitch. He's thrown as many as 55 in a relief outing this year. Of course, more than that as a starter. Got up to 100 as a starter. And he falls behind with a couple of curveballs to Bird, 2-0. Gazelman ready in the bullpen. Miguel Andujar, the on-deck batter.
When you start to tire, you not only lose velocity on your fastball, you lose the spin on your breaking ball.
Well, certainly that last one didn't look good at all. And Bird takes the slider out of the strike zone, 3-0. Walk would put the tying runs on base with Andujar on deck. 3-0 to Bird. And he takes inside, ball 4, and the bases are full. Second walk of the inning for Lugo. Do you push him another batter? That's what they're talking about. You know, so often as a manager you have a script in your mind of how you want the game to go, and part of the script was Lugo getting 2 innings in. The question is, can he do that now, maybe running on fumes?
Relievers today, how we can bring in a reliever in with the bases loaded. A lot of relievers like our start innings today.
Tying runs on base for Andujar, and the first pitch curveball fell in for a strike. Andujar was bailing.
That ball might have curved around the plate. He's not happy with that call.
It was similar to that first pitch he threw to Bird. Andujar 2 for 3 tonight. And he pops one up in foul ground. Flores hoping, but no. Lugo sprinting off the mound, trying to be part of that.
If you had the bases loaded, you'd sprint after the ball too.
Well, so many pitchers don't. I mean, we talked about that.
I gotta have it.
Especially with the shifts these days, they should have so much more responsibility for those pop-ups. Gregorius at third, Hicks at second, Bird at first with 2 down. 6-3 Mets, 7th inning.
Just after that sprint, though, make sure you compose yourself, get yourself right, and make the proper 0-2 pitch.
This will be his 55th pitch. This will match the most he's thrown as a reliever this year. Oh-2. Upstairs with the fastball, 1-2.
The Yankees have left 8 men on base so far in this game. If Andujar does not come through here, it's 11.
One-two. Curveball flying out to shallow right. Nimmo is there, and Lugo has pitched his way out of big-time trouble in the 7th inning. Heavy lifting for Seth Lugo. 55 pitches in 2 innings, but he gets through the 7th.
10 prospects was showing some good potential. Now they need your help to get us down to 3.
There are a lot of selfies on here.
He's a screenwriter.
Yeah, I'm sure he's great.
All right, so first off, his handle is Big Sexy.
This guy isn't big or sexy. And there really is only one big sexy. His name's Bartolo Colon. You guys are aware, right?
Who's that?
Forget it.
Don't miss the premiere of the new series Prospects presented by Bowlmore Lanes tonight after the postgame right here on SNY.
Gary was saying how good Jonathan Holder has been. From April to June, he went 23 straight appearances without giving up a run. One of those appearances was in Citi Field when he came in for the injured Tanaka. Was able to warm up and got an inning of work.
He was the double hamstring replacement.
Oh.
Matt Dendecker 0 for 2 and a walk. Struck out with the bases loaded in the 5th inning his last time up. Mets have been ahead from the jump tonight. They scored 3 in the 1st against Domingo Germán, built a 6-1 lead. The Yankees got 2 back in the 6th, left the bases loaded in the 7th. Dendecker, Nimmo, and Cespedes for the Mets in the 8th against Holder, the 5th Yankee pitcher, who falls behind on Dendecker 3-1. Holder has had action with the Yankees for 3 straight years now. There's a strike. Dendecker will have to come back. Dendecker 0 for 13 to start his season. Lines one to right, and Stanton grabs it 1 out. And now a quick message from your Tri-State Porsche dealers. It looks good in that car.
Wow.
I don't know how I feel about that. We let him in on our commercial, Keith, and we got nothing.
Well, you know, we did our part.
Well, you just got to participate.
Nicely done, Brandon. Good for you.
In the entry and aftermath of Brandon's nice little Porsche spot
Sometimes you
there.
just have to let your children go, Gary.
Nimmo last time up split the gap in right center for a double, tried to stretch it into a triple and was thrown out on 2 very good throws by Stanton and Walker. That took the Mets out of a scoring chance in the 6th. One of 6 extra base hits for the Mets tonight. Misses with a changeup, 2-1.
I hear some "Let's Go Met" chants.
Fastball pops in for a strike, 2-2. Yoenis Cespedes, who's had a fine return tonight, been on base 3 times, at a home run. Interesting to see what tomorrow will bring for Cespedes. Nimmo goes down on strikes. First strikeout for Holder, 2 out.
Well, you see those cutouts near the bag, 1st and 3rd. Usually don't see that. The little triangles, little noses near the base, before the base. Those are cutouts for when guys make the turn, so they don't chew up the grass.
This is what Ronnie's talking about, that little triangle to the right.
Looks like a shark fin.
Yeah. That's where players bow out as they make their turn around first. I guess it keeps the grass from being chewed up quite as much.
It's unique. I don't think any other stadium has it, or I haven't noticed that.
It's the first that I've seen it.
Yeah.
They certainly didn't have it here last year.
Problem would be on a wet field if they didn't get the tarp down. You really have to make sure that gets dried down.
0-2 to Cespedes, and he bounces one down to third. Andujar gives ground and throws him out. 1-2-3 inning for Jonathan Holder in the top of the 8th. Only the second 1-2-3 inning in this game tonight. 6-3 Mets in the 8th. SNY is brought to you by Citi, preferred card of the New York Mets. By Tri-Acura. Visit your local Tri-Acura dealer or online at triacuradealers.com. And by the State Farm agent of the game, Pat Cawley of Glendale, New York. Contact Pat at patcawley.com. Was he out of his mind?
Yes, he was.
Always nice to see Armando celebrating. Must have been from earlier in the year.
I missed that time period of Mets, but I'm catching this one. Gazelman in 54 in the 3rd innings. That's 6th for relievers in all of baseball.
Neil Walker leads off in the bottom of the 8th. Walker got the Yankees closer with a 2-run double against Seth Lugo in the 6th. Lugo was able to pitch out of further trouble in that inning and then strand the bases loaded in the 7th. 2 very strenuous innings for Lugo. And that might cook him for the rest of the series. 56 pitches in 2 innings, allowed 2 runs and 4 hits. Gazelman hasn't pitched in a week. Got a 6-out save against the Nationals last Friday in Syndergaard's last start. Gave up a home run to Matt Adams. Walker, Gardner, and Judge for the Yankees in the 8th. And Walker hits a ground ball right at Cabrera. And Gazelman has his first out. Let's check in with Steve Gelb. Steve?
Gary, Robert Gazelman learning on the fly how to go through a full season as a reliever, and he said that he's noticed over the last few weeks that his body's just taking a little bit longer to get ready, to get warm, to get loose. So whereas in the beginning of the season he was starting to get ready maybe around the 6th or the 7th inning depending on the game, now he's starting with a foam roller, getting things going around the 4th, maybe 5th inning sometimes, which he said has helped, but it's still a process trying to figure out again what's going to work for him throughout the course of a full season.
Here's Brett Gardner. The question is, can he make as much noise with a foam roller as Bartolo Colon?
Oh, that's right. Whacking people with it.
Bart
right?
was the master at making it sound like an explosion when he hit that foam roller against something in the clubhouse.
Good breaking
ball
ball
by Robert, and it's 0-2.
Good breaking ball right there.
Gardner nodded to Judge on the on-deck circle like, yeah, that was a good one.
Take note.
Yeah.
Gardner's 1 for 4 tonight. An infield single, scored a run in the third. Final in Washington. Braves beat the Nationals 8-5. Phillies are up 11-5 on the Padres in the ninth. So it looks like the top of the division will stay status quo, and the Nats will fall another game further behind.
Yes, they will. And Miami just beat Tampa 6-5. So everybody in the division right now is winning or won except for Washington.
Meanwhile, Boston up 1-0 in the ninth. Yankees could fall 5.5 back if they don't rally.
And David Price started that game. Padres have all the prospects in the world, but just not enough at the major league level.
1-2, slapped on the ground. Rosario circles around it and lost it. Boy, is he having a rough night.
Well, he's got to come in and get the ball because of the speed of Gardner. But he didn't show any real soft hands here. He kind of scooped it and coming forward.
That'll be an error charge to Rosario. His first could have easily been his second.
If you run around your backhand to the forehand, it just takes too much time with Gardner running.
That's the thing. Even if he picks it cleanly, he maybe doesn't throw Gardner out. Now Judge, the batter, and he takes one on the corner. Judge is 2 for 4 tonight. Single to left, single to right. Lugo did a great job against him his last time up. Got him on a soft liner to first. Ball and a strike to Judge with Gregorius on deck.
If you're Robert here, you've got to concentrate on, if you go inside with that sinker, if you don't make the perfect pitch or don't sink it in on his hands, you got to miss in. You can't miss out over the plate. Because Judge has such tremendous power, he can inside out that ball if you don't get it all the way in.
Judge hits one toward the middle. That's a base hit. Gardner around second. He'll go to third. Third hit of the night for Aaron Judge. And the Yankees again will get the tying run to the plate.
And yet another single, Gary.
Yankees have 13 hits, 12 singles and a double.
He's so strong, Judge. Our sinker down and in. And he just powered that ball through the infield.
The Yankees are a team that strikes out a lot. They're not striking out a lot tonight. They're putting the ball in play, and good things are happening for them in terms of getting base runners. Now they need to convert them. They've left 11 runners on base over the first 7 innings. So Gregorius, who has 2 hits tonight, steps in as the tying run, with Stanton on deck. And Gregorius slashes one. That's a fair ball. Hits off the jutting stands. Gardner scores. Judge to third. The throw from Conforto to second, not in time. A run scoring double for Gregorius. It's now 6-4 Mets, and the tying runs are in scoring position with 1 out. Third hit of the night for Gregorius kept it just fair.
Now, I'm sure that the charts will show that Gregorius does not hit the ball maybe in the single digits down the left field line, but it's late in the game and you're trying to keep the assembly line going. You got a sinker ball pitcher out there That is just good hitting by Gregorius. Look at that. That is a good, decent pitch right there.
And with first base open, the Mets are going to pitch to Stanton with Hicks on deck. The book says you don't put the go-ahead run on base, but it's really hard to even fathom pitching to Stanton here. Stanton's 1 for 2 with a sacrifice fly and a walk tonight. And he bounces one to short. A run will score. Rosario gets the second out as Judge comes home to make it 6-5 Mets. Second RBI of the night for Stanton. Gregorius carries the tying run to third with 2 out. So 2 runs home in the inning. And now the Mets lead by 90 feet. Here's Hicks, who's 1 for 4 tonight, singled back in the third. Jerry Blevins up in the bullpen with an eye toward Greg Bird, who's 2 batters away. And Hicks has to skip out of the way of that curveball. Ball 1. The inning opened up with a 1-out error by Rosario, and the Yankees crashing through. Judge a single, Gregorius an RBI double, Stanton a run-scoring groundout. Tim Peterson gets up alongside Jerry Blevins in the Mets bullpen. Another pitch in tight to Hicks, 2-0.
Not close, fans.
I have to say, all the Mets pitchers have pitched in on the hitters of the Yankees. Has to be their game plan.
And now the Mets are going to put Hicks on intentionally and pitch to Sanchez instead. So this now puts the go-ahead run on base. They wouldn't do it with Stanton, put the go-ahead run on base, but they do it here with Hicks, who can steal second and put that go-ahead run into scoring position. Interesting.
I think they're just counting on Sanchez in his first game back not being up to snuff, but boy, I'm always fearful of that guy. Comes off the DL in his first game.
Would you run Hicks here?
Yeah, I would. Yes, I would.
Hicks has 8 steals and 9 tries this year.
Again, if I'm an advanced scout, the Mets have told me that they rarely throw through. It's almost like they give you the bag.
Right. Especially with a guy at third who has speed like Gregorius.
You've got to know those stats.
So here's Sanchez. And he takes the slider in the dirt, knocked down by Mesoraco. Ball 1.
Oh boy.
Getting really low.
Mesoraco started low for protection.
2 runs home in the inning. Gregorius at third, Hicks at first, carrying the tying and go-ahead runs. 1-0 to Sanchez, and he goes after the slider and misses. 1-1.
Hicks wants to run. He just didn't get the kind of jump he thought he should, so he came back. He wanted to go. Got to throw over here just once, at least once. There you go. Now a good thing to do would be to hold it. Not only confuses the base runner, but it freezes out the hitter at times.
Once that sinker in.
And Sanchez takes it inside. 2-1.
This is getting dicey.
Probably Gazelman's last batter. You got Greg Bird on deck and Jerry Blevins hot in the bullpen. Hicks with a little larger lead, and Zellman looks him back.
Good move. Hold it.
And Sanchez takes a slider for a strike, 2-2.
A little backup slider inside.
Bird would be next. Zellman trying to find his way clear after giving up a couple of unearned runs.
The pitch of the night for Mesoraco to call. Back to the slider.
Yep.
2-2 coming. Struck him out. Zellman bends but does not break. Yankees get 2 unearned runs in the 8th inning to make this a 1-run game. 6-5 Mets as we go to the 9th. .329 of them so far.
It's not another state, Gary. We're only up here a couple of miles.
A.J. Cole, the former Washington National, in to pitch in the top of the 9th.
Well, he made a couple of starts for the Nationals. ERA was 12. He got traded for cash to the Yankees, and he's been good in their bullpen.
Not your kid.
No, not kid. Not that cash. He's not going anywhere.
Cabrera has fantastic numbers against Cole. 6 for 10 with 2 home runs against this right-hander. Tonight has dribbles 1 for 4. He doubled in a run back in the first. Hit the ball hard his last time up. Lined out to center field. That was in the 6th against Chase and Shreve. Cole, the 6th Yankee pitcher of the night. And Cabrera takes it low, 2-1. Flores and Conforto to follow as the Mets look for some insurance. After a 5-run lead shrunk to 1, the Yankees will have the lower third of the order coming up in the bottom of the 9th.
I was a little surprised that Betances didn't come in this game to try to keep it at a 1-run game.
He was warm. That's pulled toward the hole, and Cabrera's got another hit against A.J. Cole. Now 7 for 11. When you own a guy, you got the deed.
You do. Doesn't matter what uniform they're in, right?
Just keep getting those mortgage payments every month.
Even in the shift, he finds a hole.
This was a high fastball. Look at him get on top. Look at the top hand come over. And he was sitting on that gas.
You know, it's interesting to me that they had the shift, but Cabrera doesn't have a lot of speed, and they did not have Walker out in the outfield. I wonder if that's arm strength issue.
Here's Flores. Wilmer's 0 for 3 and a walk tonight. And takes a slider down for ball 1. Cole, another one of those guys who's throwing his fastball less and less since coming over to the Yankees, who throw their fastball less than anybody.
That's right.
I think the number coming into the day, that gets behind Sanchez, and down to second goes Cabrera. Right through the 5-hole on Sanchez, and that's a big base.
Just didn't get down, let that ball get under his glove.
Well, he scored a wild pitch, but certainly a ball he should have been able to stop.
Agreed. Big run out there.
I was going to say, coming into the day, the Yankees starting pitchers had thrown the lowest percentage of fastballs in the majors, and their bullpen the 5th lowest percentage of fastballs, and that's only because of Chapman, who still throws fastballs.
That's right.
Because he throws 102. Flores hits one to the right side. Wilmer with a productive out, and that gets Cabrera to third. So an insurance run standing on third with 1 out. Nice job by Wilmer to get the runner over.
He was set up to go that way the entire way.
Yeah, that was his intent, and he did not just give it a little slap over there. We had the intent of getting a base hit. Good at bat, Wilmer.
And he gets nothing but congratulations from the Mets dugout. So now the Yankees have to bring the infield in. Nobody up in the Mets bullpen. Looks like Gazelman may get the 9th. Familia conspicuous by his absence. Don't know what that means. Something's brewing.
Means something to me.
Certainly there's every chance that Familia is going to be dealt sometime between now and the trading deadline. So something might be up. Or not. Conforto lays off the breaking ball, and it's 1-1.
Well, don't get on Twitter, guys. I don't want anyone crying tonight.
Oh, he's there. No tears. Hooked deep but foul. 1-2 to Conforto, who has 2 run-scoring hits tonight. Double down the right field line to drive in a run in the 1st, and single to left field to drive in a run in the 5th. Just getting that runner home 43% of the time from third with less than 2 out. And down in the count here, 1-2. And Cole slings one outside, 2-2. Cabrera at third with 1 out. And Conforto lays off. Full count. We'll say Bautista waiting on deck.
Keith, if you were playing defensively, would you think advantage hitter 3-2? He's seen everything. Would you feel to your pull side?
Yeah, even though you got an open base. I mean, it's not a hard throw. Interesting. Gregorius shifted over to the pull side now of second base.
Off speed, hit out to left center. That'll get the run in. Cabrera tags. Hicks catches as Dribble comes home with an insurance run. Third RBI of the night for Michael Conforto, and it's 7-5 Mets in the ninth.
Boy, that's a winning baseball inning there.
Single, wild pitch, advancing ground out, sacrifice fly. As the Mets push home an insurance run.
That is excellent right there from Michael, because the Mets really need Conforto to have a good second half.
Now Bautista takes a big rip at a slider.
Just to add on the way they added on, you know, taking advantage of a mistake by the Yankees. Good situational hitting by Flores. Even better by Conforto.
A game that has featured 24 hits, but only 1 home run. And even that one was barely out. Another big rip by Bautista, 1-2. In the bottom of the 9th, the Yankees will have Bird, Andujar, and Walker. The 7, 8, and 9 hitters due up. 1-2 coming. Bautista lays off the slider in the dirt. 2-2.
That's why I was saying before that I was surprised Betances didn't come in. Not that Betances can't give up a run either, but he gives you a chance for the ball never to be put in play. That's how good he is.
Two, and that one sneaks by Sanchez. 3-2.
Boy, 3-2 on everybody. And there's a recipe for
a 4-hour game.
AAA.
Now the 3-2. And Bautista takes strike 3 called. Slider on the inside corner got him. And the inning comes to an end. But the Mets scratch out an insurance run. And it'll be Gazelman to pitch the bottom of the 9th, up 2. Robert Gazelman got the first 6-out save of his career a week ago. He's going to go for another one tonight. 7-5 as we go to the bottom of the 9th. Greg Bird leads off, 1 for 3 and a walk. Yankees have had 14 hits tonight. The Mets have not won a game this year where the opposition has had that many hits. Tim Peterson staying loose in the bullpen, but not Jeurys Familia. And just because it's the time of year that it is, and Familia being an impending free agent at the end of the year, you have to at least imagine that it might be because there's something brewing on the trade front.
You know, recently before the Orioles traded Manny Machado, they took him out of a game because there was a wet field condition. So those things happen at this time of year.
Of course, the Orioles also have a prime reliever ready to be traded in Zach Britton. So, you know, there's now that Brad Hand's been traded from the Padres to the Indians, now that market is open for business.
Oh, boy.
Side to Bird 1-2.
All night long. Cannot get a called strike from Hunter Wendelstedt.
Hunter Wendelstedt, I tell you, it does not call the inside strike.
1-2 from Gesellman, and Bird fouls it off. Red Sox held on to beat the Tigers 1-0. Craig Kimbrell saved it in the 9th. And so the Red Sox are now 5 games up on the Yankees pending the conclusion of this game. 10 more meetings coming up between those two teams.
Red Sox are now 39 games over 500.
You know, I saw a note today that I did not realize, and the Red Sox basically have to play 500 the rest of the way to win 100 games.
Yeah.
They haven't won 100 games since 1946. That's stunning. I mean, for all those seasons where they competed but fell short, you would have figured somewhere along the way they had won 100, but not since 46.
46 was the year they lost to the Cardinals, right?
It's hard to win 100 unless it was this year.
Bird with a marathon turn at bat here, which complicates Gesellman's 9th inning after throwing a 21-pitch 8th inning. And Andujar on deck, and then Walker. 2-2 inside. Well, the last thing in the world that Gesellman, after getting an insurance run, wants to do is issue a leadoff walk.
The game dictates that you challenge Bird here and make him put the ball in play and hope he keeps it in the ballpark.
10th pitch of the at bat coming to Bird, and he pulls it foul.
Just trust that good sinker that you have, run it away. Bird's looking to do something big, and maybe he'll roll it over.
Bird broke his bat on that last swing. Pitch number 11 from Gesellman to Bird. And there'll be a 12th. Again, the 3-2. And a ground ball into the shift. Rosario far to his left gets to it. And Gesellman wins that battle. 12-pitch, 6-3 ground out to start the bottom of the 9th.
Nicely done by Rosario, showing aggressiveness here. Almost like a third baseman cutting off the shortstop. Very nice.
2 gloves are better than 1.
Unless they run into each other because of the space.
Well, that happens in the outfield. It's not supposed to happen in the infield.
Good job by Robert to challenge Bird there and get that out.
Now Andujar, who's 2 for 4 tonight, and he fouls back a first pitch slider, 0-1.
Andujar only has 1 bat speed, full throttle.
Neil Walker, who drove in a couple of runs with a double, is on deck. Mets were up 6-1 in this game. Yankees got 2 in the 6th, 2 in the 8th to get within a run. Mets had an insurance run at the top of the 9th. And that's on the corner. 0-2. To Andujar. slaps it foul to stay alive. Noah Syndergaard went 5, allowed a run on 8 hits. He's in line for his 6th win of the year, which would be the most among Mets starters. You know who leads the whole staff in wins?
Mr. Gesellman?
This guy.
Yeah.
He's got 6. Noah would tie him if Gesellman can lock it down for him. Lugo went 2 innings, allowed 2 runs, 4 hits. 0-2. And Andujar, did he swing? He did. Strike 3.
Oh, he had to sell it better. He was walking across the plate, so Larry Vanover said, keep going.
If you think you swung, then you must have. And he swung.
He did. He broke the wrists, whatever the rule is.
So the Mets are down. The Yankees are down to their final out of the night. And Walker steps in. Neal doubled in 2 runs in the 6th, 1 for 4 on the night. Gesellman trying for his 2nd 6-out save in a week. And misses outside for ball 1. If Walker can get on, Brett Gardner would be next. Cespedes contributing a home run in his first game back from the DL. And the Mets putting up plenty of offense tonight. Scored 3 in the first inning, and they've led ever since, not without some dicey moments.
It's always dicey here, or it seems so anyway.
Gesellman gave up a couple of unearned runs in the 8th. He's retired the first 2 in the 9th. Walker's going to wait. Now it's 3-0. Well, it's still dicey.
It always is. It reminds me when we used to do Mets games when the Phillies were at their best in that ballpark.
Will he be a Met tomorrow? It's only one organization. That's ball 4, and now the Yankees will get the tying run to bat. Second walk given up by Gesellman. Dave Allen coming out to the mound to talk to Robert before he pitches to Gardner, who will come to bat as the tying run. Nothing easy. If he's running out of gas, would you bring Tim Peterson into this spot?
I don't think he's running out of gas. He got one batter to get here, and a very dangerous batter with a short right field porch.
Lugo and Gesellman between them have thrown 97 pitches tonight.
They're not in there tomorrow. It'll be Familia to close tomorrow.
If he's still a Met.
Still here.
Right.
I don't think now in this house is the time to test Tim Peterson's mettle. Go with Gesellman.
By the way, for what I believe is the first time this season, the Mets are down to 1 mound visit remaining.
Veteran hitter up here, knows how to handle the bat, what to try to do. He's got 9 home runs this year, Gardner.
He had 21 last year. He's 1 for 5 tonight. Flores playing behind the runner at first. And Gardner takes a first pitch fastball for a strike.
Got the high call there from Wendelstadt.
Last time up, Gardner slapped one to the left side, and Rosario had to go out of his glove for an error. That led to the 2 runs in the 8th. And Gardner bounces it foul, and now the Yankees are down to their final strike.
Rocco got hit again, I believe, on the bat follow through from Gardner.
Once a night.
Don't even think about it now, though, because you don't want to upset the flow.
That flow.
Boy, he's going to call the
ball, but he wasn't on the rubber.
I thought he was on the rubber.
To Brett Gardner. Up the middle, Rosario's there, and the ball game is over. The Mets hang on to beat the Yankees. Cespedes makes his return, hits a home run. The Mets score 3 in the first, and right it from there as Syndergaard gets his second straight win off the DL. And the Mets even up the season series with the Yankees winning tonight 7-5.
Well, a good return for Cespedes, Gary. You said it. Hit the home run, his 9th home run of the year. We had the record of the Mets when he's not in the lineup, a little over a 400% win-loss record. When he's in with the ball club, the Mets seem to win. And boy, he came through today, had a big day. And Conforto, 3 RBIs, a big day at the plate.
Yeah, and the Mets were able to get through this game with 3 pitchers, Syndergaard, Lugo, Gazelman. The Yankees had to use 6.